I do.
Covino and Rich. Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Heard all about it on the radio.
Get ready.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Turn it up. Turn the show. Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
All right.
Good morning, everybody.
Yo, what's up, buddy?
Welcome to the show. Covino and Rich. Quoting Twisted Sister spot way back on Wednesday. Well, if you got that problem, yeah. Well, I think that you should know. We're Covino and Rich. Spotty boy. Woo. In the rainbow butthole. If you zoom out, it's a butthole. He's inside the butthole.
National Waffle Iron Day.
And happy National Waffle Iron.
And it's National Camera Day.
Yeah, that too. Let's rock out. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show yesterday. Thanks, Mom. Hope you enjoyed our Fox Sports Radio appearance in for Doug Gottlieb. If you need something else later today, foxsportsradio.com. Search Doug Gottlieb. We did 3 hours of kick-ass yesterday.
Oh, and they posted a lot of cool videos on
did.
Twitter
They did.
that we got to repost.
I did.
Yes.
So check those out when you can. They're in our Instagram story. Covered lots of stuff like secondary team. What does that really mean? You have a secondary team? No, you have a primary team. Do you have a secondary woman? No, because you're committed to your woman. That's how it works. So we talked about that. We talked about how Canelo can't throw. So many superstar athletes get on the mound. They can't throw a ball. What's that about? It says a lot about a person. You're so one-dimensional that you can't throw. It's about the most basic thing.
It drives me insane.
Like a caveman.
It really does
He
drive
had
me
a
insane.
rock, right? He was like, and he threw it at his prey or at his enemy. Canelo, an elite athlete, and just one of hundreds of examples, but the most recent, can't throw. It's pathetic. There's no excuse. And people always make an excuse. And those people are also people that can't throw. So anyway, foxsportsradio.com. Here we are in the flesh.
Yeah.
Way back on a Wednesday. Thank you for rocking out with us.
I feel like complete ass, so I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the lead. I took Emmy to urgent care last night, and she has an ear infection and some type of little thing going on, and everyone's just a little under the weather, and it just sucks.
Well, no, that's what happens
It just sucks.
when you say yes to everything and you wear yourself thin.
It's true.
Rich is the yes man who says yes to everything. And I tried desperately yesterday to say, hey, Rich, don't want to wear ourselves thin, man. We're pushing it too much. And Rich was like, no. And he makes a great point. This is our opportunity. Yes. But what happens is you get sick, you're out of energy, you run yourself thin.
What?
You run out of ideas, you expose yourself.
That's
Bam.
the equivalent of your mom saying, put a hat on. It's cold outside. You're going to catch a cold.
Well, that's
Unless
false.
you're exposed
No.
to sickness.
No, because when you wear yourself thin, you're more susceptible to sickness.
That is
Your
true.
immune system's not as strong.
Is that science?
Yes.
Science.
Yeah, you're not getting proper rest. You're just out of it. And you're more susceptible to an illness where your body would have fought it off before. You wear yourself thin. And that being said, we're now doing 3 days next week in for Dan Patrick, which is the biggest audience we've ever talked to. So, it's hard to say no
when the
to an
boss
extra
says,
show.
hey, do you guys want to be our number one guys? The answer has to be yes.
Originally, we were scheduled next week for Tuesday, Thursday, Fox Sports Radio, but we kicked so much ass yesterday.
We're gaining a reputation around there.
We are.
We're gaining a reputation where everyone...
Oh.
that we just give it up easy. Buttholes wide open.
You're so fill-in slutty. You'll just flop on your back for anyone.
I
Well,
just
the
get
thing
this
is, too,
vibe that every producer, every board up, every production guy, everyone's like, man, Covino and Rich, Spotty. Oh, like
Breath of fresh air.
We are in a position now where I told Sarah, I'm like, we're the dong on deck. I'm telling you, the minute someone fucks up, it's like, Covino and Rich, you're in.
Sounds like you're just really, they're like, you're friends with benefits. And they're really just taking advantage of you when they need their dick sucked.
Could be. And then the flip side to that is, well, we're still getting paid nicely, right?
I could really use a little banging.
So we went from Tuesday and
Covino
Thursday
Rich.
next week to Tuesday,
show up.
Wednesday, Thursday, and for Dan Patrick, who, I mean, it's one of the biggest shows in the country. Can't complain about that. But I was like, Rich, you sure, man? We're really taking on a lot.
Then I
'cause I'm
said to
tired
you
too.
something I didn't say to you yesterday. I also thought about how all they want is for us to fill in every opportunity. We're the first go-to.
It's true.
We got to take these chances because every day we're on for Dan Patrick or Cowherd or Gottlieb or anyone, even if the opening doesn't happen at Fox right away, for all we know, iHeart, Spotify, CBS, NBC, anyone could be like, wait a minute, who are these guys? We need them. They're like, so I just feel like that visibility is so important.
Yeah, and you never know who's listening, right? Never know. One of the reasons we're at Fox Sports Radio in the first place, aside from Super Agent Sean Wyman, is because Colin Cowherd heard us filling in for Will Kane or Stephen A., one of those shows on ESPN. So, again, thank you for believing in us, discovering us, telling your friends about us, hanging out with us every day. It means a lot. Hope you had a great Tuesday night. It's already Wednesday. We're halfway there. We're living on a prayer. And I'm going to start off with something random because we're here to have fun and talk about nonsense before we get into the news and other stories. I'm wearing a shirt today. It was in my pile. I was like, I haven't worn this in a minute. It says, love is in the airwaves. And as a broadcaster who does a podcast, that's really what I am. A broadcaster, a professional broadcaster who does a podcast. I believe in that. Love is in the airwaves.
Nice.
Love is in the airwaves. So it's a shirt I've had for a minute, but it takes me back, way back on a Wednesday, to a picture that I showed you guys. And we talked about it on the air, but we didn't have visual elements at the time. People forget that they watched our show, listened to our show for like 14, 15 years without ever seeing anything that we were doing or talking about.
Well, keep in mind of our patrons,
Our patrons.
half of them are tier 1 and half are tier 2. It's pretty split down the middle like a pair of cheeks.
Nah, it's not though. That's deceiving. You know why? Based on our research, although subscription-wise that's true, the people who subscribe to tier 2, maybe half of them actually watch. They don't always watch.
They'll watch here and there.
Yeah, like they watch here and there. And, you know, because people still are used to us as a listening sort of element, as just a regular radio show. But having the video element is something I'm completely down with. I love doing that. And we didn't have that for so many years. So for so many years, you used your imagination. One day I was like, yo, man, I came back from Yosemite and
Yosemite.
And I was like, oh, I was at Half Dome, bro, Half Dome. And
Yosemites.
I showed these guys a picture of me, and both of them collectively were like, I don't know what it is, but that's the weirdest picture of you that we've ever seen. And I thought about it because I put this shirt on. I remember it clearly because I'm like, what's so weird about it?
I don't remember this picture at
Because
all.
I'm in nature. That's why. It was like such a moment. Like, because both of you guys ganged up on me. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's the weirdest picture. So now I get to show you what was so weird all those years ago, George Harrison style.
I don't remember this.
Here's the weird picture of me. I'm wearing like a camelback backpack. Some cargos. I got a thumbs up. I'm in front of Half Dome.
Did we think you look photoshopped, maybe?
Dude, I don't know what it was. I'm not you. You said I looked weird. It just didn't look
The
like me.
lighting is
I wasn't
bad,
in
I
my
guess.
element.
Zoom in
Something
here.
odd about it. You know, you
Zoom
guys
in on
made
you.
such a deal about it. I'm like, why? Because I'm in nature right now with a backpack on? I
Probably
don't
because
get
you were
it.
far away from it and pointing. I don't know. I don't remember this picture at all, but it seems like
You ever got a joint in your other hand?
I don't know what I'm holding. That's a good one.
that? Is that a joint?
Nah, definitely not a joint. I'm not a pothead,
It's
but
a joint.
I don't know what's going on. But when I put this shirt on today, it reminded me
It's beautiful.
of the picture in front of Half Dome that you guys thought was the oddest, weirdest picture. Yeah, nothing weird. I agree, Stu Hot Wagner. But at the time, I was forced to defend myself on the airwaves,
Is it?
saying, I don't get it. It's just a picture of me in front of a mountain.
I wish I knew now what I made fun of back then.
Nature, Covino, I don't know,
Maybe,
me wearing
maybe.
a Camelback backpack. I couldn't tell you, but at the time, both of you ganged up on me. Look it up in your records. Maybe you'll find it. But just want to go way back on a Wednesday and finally show you what the big deal was as I rocked
I don't
the
even
shirt.
remember that story.
I mean, it wasn't a weird dream I had. I remember it. It happened.
Spot and I don't remember this, do we?
Find it.
I mean,
Find it.
it doesn't matter if you remember it.
pull it up.
I remember it. Because I had two people ganging up on me, and I'm trying to figure out, well, why is that so weird?
They had big ass cargo pants, maybe.
Dude, I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
So you went in.
I went to Yosemite.
You went to Yosemite.
What was that, 2016?
In 2014.
That's 2014, huh?
8 years ago.
Wow, still got it. Look at that. I still
see.
got it.
Let's see.
I feel like I fill it out nicer now, all these years ago.
When a whole of this. You were in a Prius.
Neck on the shirt is super stretched.
And realized you were almost out of gas. Oh, this was in the. You almost ran out of gas on the way up.
Yeah, I remember that. And I
let's
came back.
see.
I showed these guys this picture.
6 months. You didn't
Like,
do.
you look so weird. So
you
anyway,
got a recommendation for a place to eat. You experienced a taste explosion.
Yeah.
Man, my notes are so exciting.
I remember that. I had some crazy drink.
These notes are so fascinating.
Yeah, I remember this guy.
Oh,
gave
Joan
me,
Rivers died.
really?
Yeah,
Well,
let's see.
that was 2014.
Got
Huh?
a food high.
So the shirt is 8 years old.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Still have it.
Well,
I don't
anyway,
know.
yeah, still got it. And I still got it, and I still got it. So this makes me think of something that happened recently. Like pictures today, they're so dangerous, and it's almost like so rude in a way because people just post whatever they want on social media. I get that those are the rules. I get that's how it is. That doesn't make it right necessarily, right? It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you look good, so you post it. Thanks. There's a picture, and my uncle asked kindly, don't post pictures of my retirement party. I just don't want them out there. I'm a private officer. Like, he's just weird anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Right? I'm not defending it. He's just a weird guy. He's like, I don't want anyone posting pictures. You know? Please don't. Have a good time. And I have cousins that decided to post all these pictures anyway, and I'm in them. And there's two parts to the story. You ever feel like you're looking good? You're feeling really good, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then how you look in the pictures, or maybe even in real life, doesn't match how you were feeling. Like I was walking around like, yeah, man. I know I look good. I know. Look how old Uncle, Fedecito got. Look how old cousin Fred got. I'm feeling good. And then I see the pictures. I'm like, man, I look like fucking
worst feeling.
donkey ass.
It's the worst feeling.
It's the worst.
I remember seeing photos from a vacation I took, and I was like, man, I feel pretty good on the beach.
All right.
Then I saw a picture, and I'm like, it's unflattering. That's what I look like with my shirt off. Ugh.
It's like that meme that I posted of myself. I'm feeling slick and chiseled, and then I see myself in selfie mode, and I have a bulbous nose, and I look fat and chubby, and my double chin is looking all stupid. I'm like, I hate myself now. I was feeling good. So it's when your confidence, your inner confidence and swag, that strut you got really doesn't match I don't know if it's the reality or the picture, right? Maybe it's just that moment. And it's such a letdown because when I saw all the pictures from my uncle's retirement party, and again, I was feeling sweet, dude. I was rocking my Jordan 1s.
Felt great.
Felt good. Every picture I saw, I look chubby and shiny. I'm like, who's the fat, chubby, shiny guy? Oh, that's me? Oh. That's not how I was feeling at all.
A lot of people feel this way, though.
Yes,
a lot of
the
people look at
weakest.
the photo, and they're like, oh, really?
And then you
Okay.
know what happens? Then your relatives go and post all those photos, and they tag you in them. So the rest of your friends could see how chubby and shiny you look in every picture. It's like, how is that okay? Because they liked the photo, they posted it.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it's been
that's
forever.
how it goes. That doesn't mean it's okay. And you can untag yourself. I get it, and I might.
But what do
Because
you
I'm
want
like,
them
why
to-
do I want that out there? That's terrible. Why do I want this terrible picture of me, especially being the host of a radio show?
Well, that's your
where
exception.
anybody could Photoshop a dick up my ass, and here's a shiny picture of me looking fat for everyone else to make fun of. No thanks. I'm good on that.
I think you only
I don't
think
need
that way.
extra ammunition for everybody else.
I think you only think that way because you do what you do.
No, I would
The
feel that
the
anyway.
average
I'm
person.
I'm a very vain person. Steve Covino.
That's also why you're vain. You're vain, and you do.
I admit my flaws and faults.
Bro, love is in the airwaves.
Love's in the airwaves. So when I have people posting random stupid photos of me, yeah, I'm gonna be like, why would you do that? I should be the one picking the photos of me that I want out there. You know, it's a little wrong. I try not to do that to other people. I keep that in mind, and I ask people first whenever I can. But I don't own the chubbiness, bro. Fuck that, Rocket Dog. I'll fight it for as long as I can. I have chubby weeks, chubby days, but I'll never just accept it. Sometimes chubby months and years. Now, this brings me to a photo that was posted. I'm like, and there's no other way to describe this. I'm describing this in the exact way I'm intending to describe this. So don't get all tight and PC. I'm using the term properly. My cousins posted like the gayest photo of me. Like other relatives and family members must see this and be like, oh, he's gay now? Like I look so gay in this photo.
There's something very flamboyant about you.
In this photo, I'm like, and it goes back to like, why do I look so weird in this photo? Back then, you thought I looked weird in that Yosemite photo. Mm-hmm. In 2022, I feel like I look really weird in this photo that's been floating around the internet. And it's not even like I zoomed my relatives out of it. I cropped them out of it.
Floating around the internet?
Yeah, like I cropped them amongst my family. Like everyone's sending it around. Like, yeah, can we stop with that really terrible photo of me? I'm sick of seeing it. Like 8 people sent it to me already. Like, here's the pictures from the event. Like, why do I got to keep seeing this horrible photo? And I'll show you guys because I don't care that much. It's just more like, why? And I don't know what it is about the photo, but like, it's my relatives, but I'm just so like, bam, like, ta-da. And I cropped them out, so I feel like it loses its effect being that it's cropped, but I'll just give you an example of like, why does it have to be this way all the time? Why do I have to look at this photo? Why is this the one that's all over social media, tagged 1,000 times? Thanks, but no thanks. What is that?
You just have a weird smile.
I look like I'm transitioning or something.
But what? That's weird. But you're part of a group, which probably it doesn't stand out as much. But when you isolate your face, it probably just looks bad. Like if we took photos of ourselves,
Spot.
If you ever took a group photo and isolated everyone's face,
No,
I'm sure it would
in
look
the
weird.
group, it looks worse. That's what I was trying to explain. In the group,
impossible.
It's worse. I'm just trying to keep my family private a little bit.
You know what I love about the iPhone? So the iPhone has face recognition. So you can look at a group of photos based on the faces in those photos. So like your guys' faces show up because we're in a lot of photos together on my phone. My wife, some of our other friends. But the photo they choose for the isolation is the worst looking photo because when you isolate someone's face in a photo, it is not flattering.
It's so weird, man. I'm like, thanks, but no thanks with the photos. Enough with the tags. I'm good on that one. And I'm not saying that looking gay is bad, but I'm not gay. And I don't know why I look so feminine and weird. And it's like, I don't know, I look weird to me in that photo. I'm like, that's not how I look. But every other photo, Rich, I look like a chubby, shiny, like chubby, shiny people holding hands.
Well, my first thought is
I gotta show you this.
I really don't think most people, like I'm thinking of my different friends. I think it's definitely a combination of your vanity and the fact that you have listeners or viewers.
You think that everybody's just okay. You think that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Everybody's okay with stupid pictures of them on the internet. Who's okay with that? Nobody. Nobody's okay with that. Why would, even if you're like not necessarily known as a handsome guy, you want that to be magnified, like with more stupid pictures?
No.
So then how is anybody okay with that? And I say that because like you're making it out like I'm the weird guy. How is anybody okay with that? I understand that's the norm, but that's okay.
Can I show you the face isolation on my iPhone? Because it's kind of funny of everyone that I deal with. So this is.
Oh my god!
So that's the photo that it chooses for you.
That's so
if I want to see Steve Covino photos, that's what I click on.
Look at that! I
My
got
wife-
you know what I got right there?
My wife with something cylindrical up to her mouth.
Spot. You know what I got? I got the steal your girl curl.
Is that what that is?
The steal your girl curl.
Rich has a decent one. Sarah has a good one.
Yeah,
Chad,
Rich
there's
is
my
like
sister. She's
conventionally
scary.
handsome no matter what.
My-
So it doesn't. He doesn't care. So he doesn't care. Period.
Rich is like Barney Stinson. He never takes a bad photo.
Yeah, like
But I'm not going to argue on this. I'm just saying you particularly, of all the people I know, would be the one with a problem. If I posted a group photo of, let's say, my high school pals, or let's say my softball buddies or other people, I don't think they'd be like, yo, you posted a bad picture of me. It's a very Covino thing because you care about those things.
Because I do a radio show, meaning I talk about things. People would feel those things and wouldn't express them. I'm here to express my feelings that I'm sure other people share in. You know, I'm not going to my family saying, yo, listen, guys, you got to stop. I'm coming here saying, yo, this is ridiculous. Enough of this. Like, I look like very feminine. I don't know what it is. Like, stop with that one. Like, are my features getting more rounded? Like,
should be I
don't know.
Should be a new headshot.
I don't know why you think it's feminine.
There's something about, I don't know, because that's not like, I don't know. Maybe they caught me in a really, like, in a happy gay moment. I don't know what it is. But I'm like, stop with that. Can this picture go away? Everybody feels that way.
You're actually smiling. That's why.
I don't know. And like I said,
never smile.
And with my family, it looks even lamer because I'm with, like, I don't want to say anything wrong, but
you're gonna.
The family members I'm with in this photo just add to the lameness of my expression. That's all. So I wanted to show you that old photo that Rich and Spot swore I looked weird in. Because I was Nature Steve.
I'm just saying, before iPhones.
And this is the most recent one where I'm like, who is that guy?
Before digital, people just took pictures and whatever they came out with, fuck it, that was in the photo album. So it is a newer age problem over the last decade or so. But your parents, Sebastian Maniscalco does the bit. You go to SeaWorld, Shamu jumps, click, hope I got it. Do you think all the pictures, half the pictures I have of my family from the 80s, someone's blinking, or like someone's looking like,
well, there's always going to be, if you get anything out of this, a picture that haunts you and your mom busts it out all the time or someone posts it and you're like, yo, this is not a flattering photo of me. Can it stop, please? And like Rich expressed, you don't want to be that guy, but you're going to feel that way.
You know, the only time I'll get defensive of photos of me is if it's just, sometimes there's like a sunny, weird angle and every wrinkle or fucking gray hair is like, pah. And I'm like, I'm not posting that picture. Or if I'm by the pool.
Yeah, you're not. So imagine if someone else does.
Listen, if I'm standing by the pool, I'm not going to be like, all right, ready, take the picture. Let me flex. Hold on. Ugh. But if I'm like leaning over the pool with my belly like fucking loose, and I'm like, ah, that's not the picture I want. I agree. I know what you're saying.
So imagine how frustrating it is when someone else takes the liberty to post that without any consent because they think they look okay. It's like, whoa, chill there.
I wish I could find the photo.
I got a reputation.
I wish I could find the photo I'm talking about because I'll be man enough. I'll be man enough to show you. When I was on vacation,
sure,
with my high school friends.
Yeah.
When we were in the Bahamas, where Ben was conceived.
Is that why his middle name is Khalik?
Yeah.
Nice.
I
always wondered why that.
When I was in the Bahamas, there's a lot of beach pictures because it's a group of friends all beach vacationing. If it's a head-on picture, I feel confident with the way I look. Someone took a picture of me like jokingly hugging someone from behind, and my torso just looks fucking the worst. And it's part of like our group friends gallery, and I'm like,
right.
Oh,
okay, that's all I'm saying.
Like my buddy Mike was by the boat. And I tried to do like the Jack and Rose thing as a joke. Like I hugged him. And it's, to me, when people are like, that's such a funny picture, I'm like, I fucking hate it.
That's funny.
So
that's all
I know
I'm
what
saying.
You're saying.
I'm not saying I'm hitting up my family members, telling them to stop. I'm just saying like, yo.
When was Ben born again?
How old is he?
2 years ago.
How old is he? 15?
And I don't know, we're talking about pictures here on the Covino and Rich show. I showed you one from way back Wednesday. I showed you one from just this past weekend. Speaking of pictures, Spot, I don't want to put you on the spot.
You know what my photo that I wish would disappear is?
What? I know, the turkey one.
Tur Spaten. Like,
oh, you hate that one? The one where Spaten?
I hate Tur Spaten. Tur Spaten needs to like, because it was me with the Hooters girls when they came in one year. They were like, oh, what can we do with them again rather than just having them stand around and talk? And we're like, let's have them spray tan Spot. So I stripped down to my underwear in front of a bunch of Hooters models when I wasn't in the greatest of shape. Why can't I do that now? Even though stripping down wouldn't look good. But then I'm like hunching over like giving a thumbs up in front of the group of girls, but someone isolated me, so it's just me with my gut flap hanging over.
And then someone photoshopped you on top of
me as a
turkey legs. Yeah.
And we all know the one photo that haunts you, Covino.
Oh, the Henry Winkler one. Yeah.
The Henry Winkler one.
Like, stop with that one. Look how happy Henry is with the dog.
Oh, that's a great picture.
I look like
Rich
I'm
has a great travel beard.
Dude, I
The
straight
dog's
up,
happy.
I look like I'm dipping gabagool into my coffee. Yeah, gabagool in my coffee. Oh! I look like I'm straight off the set of The Sopranos, like I'm about to eat every bagel on that plate. Like, it's the worst. And of course, it's posted everywhere.
Gabagool.
You know, everybody has those feelings in those moments.
It's the best picture ever, baby.
The one of Spot as a turkey. That
Spot's
one.
cracking.
Hey, Spot, but I didn't know if you wanted to bring up the story of pictures you've recently posted and you got some negative feedback on. Do you want to talk about that?
Let's talk about
I'd love
that.
to.
Oh, really? Okay, because I don't even know the angle here.
I
but
don't
it's,
either.
It's almost like
I want to be rude.
keep your opinions to yourself.
Hey,
I don't know.
Let me ask you a good question. How do
Spot's
a
not rude.
tutorial?
But
Spot, how do
it has
I
to do with photos.
without scrolling? How do you go backwards on pictures on Facebook on your phone?
On Facebook?
Yeah, how do you like skip to 2019 or something without being like scroll? I know it's an easy thing, but I always fucking forget.
Can you search by date? By post? I think you can isolate by post date.
Yeah, I don't want to bother.
Well, I hope
people
Rich
with that.
finds it
By the way,
because
for
Yeah,
this- for
I'll-
this, for the sake of fairness.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on.
That shit is funny though. And
hold
you know what?
on.
Without fail,
Look,
every
come on.
Thanksgiving this shit
Every fucking
resurfaces.
Thanksgiving, I'm like, turn fucking spotting.
That's
Like, is
yo,
it
Spot.
necessary?
You know what's sad about it is like Spot loves Thanksgiving. He loves his turkey
It's my
bombs, his
culinary
Thanksgiving
Super Bowl.
bombs. Yes, his culinary Super Bowl. But he has to wake up with that cringy feeling in his stomach.
And like,
Every Thanksgiving, knowing that photo's gonna come up and haunt
and
him.
I have to like, sometimes I have to be the one to post it. And I'm like, why do I have to post this photo of myself?
Why do you have to remind
Why
everybody?
do I have to remind everybody?
Yeah.
Spot. What about my rock horns photo? You
That's
think I like that?
before-
You think I like the rock horns photo?
It's
That
like,
shit is funny though, bro.
Yeah, but I look corny as fuck.
You do.
I mean, it's
That
like
shit is funny.
yeah, but you don't look bad. You just look corny.
Yeah.
no. I look like I am into Covino from that other photo.
That shit is funny. That shit is. Yeah. You look.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's
You
funny.
combine those two photos.
Hold on.
Oh my
We
god.
look like we could be on OutQ.
Well, cute. What a 20-year throwback.
Way back on a Wednesday, man. So photos on the CNR show.
You think I like that picture? Because there's a part of me that was trying to rock out.
It's the head tilt.
That was my attempt at rocking out.
Yeah, look at me. It looks like you remember
you
when
kidding?
like Bruce Jenner was in between. That's how I'm looking in that photo, and I don't know why.
Do you really feel like you're transitioning?
No, it's like you know how like people say as Paul McCartney got older, he started to look like an old British grandma.
British grandma.
Like, is that what's happening to me now? As I'm losing like, you know, my jawline. I don't know what's going on there. I'm like, who is that guy? Fuck that guy. Maybe it's the ultra jet black hair. I don't know what it
I mean,
is.
you look really badass here, so that makes up for it.
That weak soul patch I got going on.
What is that?
I have a little goatee going on, like a goatee. So again, photos haunt you.
Get me the fuck out of here.
People make fun of you. It is the way of the world. I'm not denying
This is a
that.
good treat for tier 2 because I'm going to throw another photo your way. Hold on. I want to see what you guys think of this one.
Well, if you can't see it, we apologize. Just know that it's corny pictures of us, and everybody could relate, I'm sure. And then Spot does have a story in regards to pictures he posted. Again, the difference is a lot of times we're not posting these pictures, and we're like, yo, can you chill? No one leads with their shitty photos, right? People do that for you. Like, hey, thanks, but no thanks. I didn't need to be tagged in that photo for everybody to see. Spot actually chose to post a photo and got some really interesting, almost like overboard feedback about it. Like very blatant and honest feedback about his photo that Spot didn't ask for. So we'll dissect that a little bit in a little bit. A little bit. Oh, hey, oh, a little bit. Gabagool. Oh,
Do I need to pull up
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You know who says a little
A
bit?
little bit. Yeah, De Niro.
Hey, Spot, send me the
Mexican De Niro.
post the picture that I just sent you of Covino.
This guy says a little bit.
A little bit.
Gabagool.
A little bit.
Little back.
Little bit.
Everything about that photo sucks.
I just sent you 2 pictures. I sent you one of Covino and the one that I hate because it's an unflattering angle of me.
Oh, you found it?
I did, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
But everyone's got pictures.
So-
They're like, why is this the one that's in circulation?
And why did someone take?
It's actually a good photo of Covino.
Why did
No, I was
someone?
gonna say I just find it to be a funny one because I was like, I wonder if anyone would remember where this is from.
Oh, okay.
Look at how high his hair is, though.
Your hair is so high.
Dude, that's got to be a weird angle, man. What is going on there?
what is that?
Extendo head?
That's from
What
one
is
of our
going on?
boat cruises. That's from one of our convention boat cruises.
Why the long head?
It just caught my eye because I feel like your pompadour is like,
Holy
you're like 6'3". You're like 6'3" in that photo.
I was trying to get some height in that photo. I'm like Johnny Suede with that pompadour. What is the deal?
That's funny.
That is pompous. Was that when we visited the city of Pompeii?
Yes.
That is ridiculous.
You
That
were frozen in time at the barber shop.
That must be in like a weird angle and my head, like I'm leaning head first or something.
Extendo head.
That extendo head photo is ridiculous.
I gotta find the original.
I don't want that online, that photo.
It's
Please.
fantastic.
Don't do me any favors.
Extendo head. Well, you know what? We'll post for the tier 1 people. We'll post a couple of them on our IG story.
I'm wearing like a I know the brand of that shirt. What is it? Volcom?
Yeah, it was when we all wore like Hawaiian
Hawaiian
shirts for the boat cruise that year.
At our
You
convention.
just had exceptionally high hair that year.
Yeah, man, that must have volume. Maybe when I auditioned for the Volume channel.
Was that it?
I don't know.
I have the other photo when you're ready.
All right, let's
Oh,
see.
yeah, this
Let's
is
see
the one.
the photo.
It's just an unflattering, like back fat type of photo for me. Like there was a storm coming, and I jumped up on the thing, and I'm like, everyone, storm. It was like a funny moment, but I look at that picture, and
I
I'm
would
like,
be more embarrassed about the farmer's tan you got.
yeah, no, I like
But-
everything about the picture. I'm like, the whole joke was it was a beautiful day, the storm was coming, and I jumped up on the. Yeah, but I just feel like I was in better shape than that would make.
It's not bad for the average fella, right? But Rich was feeling like he was a little bit above the average fella. I get it, but it's
just
not
like-
a bad photo
Yeah,
at
but
all.
just like the angle I'm at, and I was like, oh, that's the one that everyone's laughing at.
If
This
that's
is
your
why-
worst photo,
This is why the guy
then-
couldn't relate to the
Right.
conversation.
If that's your worst photo, then good for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Good for you.
here I am with a bagel in my mouth, half bite. Whoa, hey, oh.
It's very dad bod for someone that was like trying to be like feeling myself a little bit. I was like,
Not
nah.
that dad bod though. I understand. You felt like you were in better shape.
Stu, good point. He goes, what was Rich searching for? The other half of his tan?
Yeah, it's Rich
Yo,
for
look
the
at my
farmer's
like
tan.
right now. I am like farmer's tan to the fullest right now. It's pretty
Well,
bad.
because you work in the garden now.
Yeah, you're a farmer now.
Yeah.
Your hair wasn't that. I'm looking at the original photos. Your hair wasn't that high.
Yeah, what was going on?
So it had to have been the angle.
That is crazy.
look at your boy Albie looking up at you like, this
He's
guy
like-
serious?
He's like, yo, he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
You fucking serious?
Stop playing.
And that's
Like Diego
Radimus Prime.
Diego from Umbrella Academy.
Albie and Rad, check out their podcast. But anyway, thank you guys for being here with us. Some photos, some haunt you, some never go away. You're tagged in photos you never asked for.
But I wasn't.
You look at photos and they're like a weird reminder of where you're headed and where you're going. You're like, wait, is that really what I look like? I hope not. And Spot posted one recently. Now, Spot's been taking his gym selfies, and we've discussed this. This is not anything new.
You guys have given me a hard time.
We've even questioned why, right? For the sake of the show. But someone took the initiative to give Spot their true advice. And I'll let Spot tell the story because
So, to backtrack, when was that? Someone hit up Rich directly a few months ago. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like it was on our Friday show. I swear it was. And they said a comment about me posting my gym selfies. Now, who is this person? And I was like, I said F this person. We didn't announce who it was by name. But I tried to explain the reasoning behind my gym selfies.
can we say it's a quasi-famous person?
Sure.
Relatively known person?
Yeah,
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, friend of ours. Been on the show. So they had some sort of public persona. But we're
I only
friends.
say that because it makes it sting a little more when you hear the story.
They're known for speaking their mind. Let's just say that.
Okay.
So they made a comment to you behind my back.
Yeah.
And I hate clandestine
I
conversations.
told you, though.
But you told me to stir the pot.
When I said, who's this guy? Look at this.
But I'm like, who gives a fuck this guy? The reasoning, and I will stick by my statement. I will stand by this statement. And you too may not understand. This guy may never understand. I'll make myself big. I'm at my beach house this week. This guy may never understand.
I thought if you zoomed out, you were inside the butthole.
This is what a butthole looks like.
Oh, okay.
This is what a
Spots at a beach house.
This is
Look
what an
at 'em.
LGBTQIA plus butthole looks like.
Nice.
It's really fancy.
Wow.
There's a fireplace.
That's a sassier butthole than I thought you were in.
There's a beach. Though I don't understand this motif and this motif, but it works. Anyway, so this guy commented on me posting my gym selfies, and my motivation, and I really do mean this. It's probably like 20%, hey, look at me, but isn't everything on social media? Isn't everything on social media? Hey, look at me.
Kind of.
Isn't there a reason that you're posting on social media?
I would say 9 out of 10 times. 9 out of 10 times. Because there is the sharing element, but
Right.
there's the bragging element.
Yeah. Should I make myself? Oh, wait, wrong.
And most people are bragging.
Most people are bragging about their awesomeness. So I put, so the reason for me is 20% whatever ego. The other is accountability, because when I feel like I post on social media, I'm like, okay, I went, I'm showing people I went. And if I don't go and I don't post, then to me, I'm like, fuck, I haven't posted in a couple of days. To me, that's accountability.
You think people are gonna be like, "Where's his selfies?"
Yes.
He must be slacking.
Because I got in the habit of doing it every day. And then when I don't do it for a day, they're like, Spo, you gone to the gym? I know they're thinking that. And in my mind, I know they're thinking that. Probably not. But I feel like they are. And that's my motivation and accountability.
It's your inner voice, too.
My inner voice.
Right.
And 3, inspiration. Because as someone who has been hefty most of their lives,
Husky, Husker
You're
Du.
more of a cinch sack, I thought.
someone who, got spray tanned by a bunch of Hooters models and looks like a turducken. This guy appreciates how you can turn it around. And I like showing other people that, hey, you can turn it around too. It's not as hard as it looks. And as a result, a lot of people have commented that to me. They've been like, you're my inspiration. You have inspired me to get back in the gym and get back in shape and all that kind of stuff. And that feels great to me. So once I got those first few up front.
So even if you inspire just a few,
Yeah.
And I'm
Make
sure he
Shout out
has.
to Chris
Makes you
White
happy.
Sox.
I mean, I could personally think of a few just to back spot
Chris
up.
White Sox, who is going to hear this show in 6 to 8 months.
Right, he's on delay.
It's there, occasionally once I started hearing that, it became a little bit of validating. And at the same time, I was like, I want to keep doing that so other people will do it. So
this will upset him around the holidays.
It really
when
will.
he catches up to this.
So that's my reasoning. That's why I do it. To show people that I'm doing good, to show people that
At
you
least
can
that's
do
what he
good.
says.
And that's what I say. So this person who is a mutual friend and had clandestine conversations with Rich then reached out to me directly,
Clandestine.
making a joke about my selfie. And I joked back. I'm like, yeah, I know you love these. Ha ha. Then proceeded, unsolicited.
That's the part.
Completely unsolicited.
Completely out of left field. Like,
Completely out of left field.
it was like him and Paul O'Neill came running in, and no one asked for that.
Out of
No
left
one
field.
asked for this.
Left field.
Out of left field.
Played right
There's
field,
Barry
my bad.
Bonds.
Yeah, Bonds.
There's Barry Bonds in this guy.
Yeah.
Completely unsolicited, proceeded to go off on a rant about how this is a bad look, how I have some sort of hyper ego disorder.
Yo, please read it because it really is like, wow, dude. Talk about
By the way, let me show you the.
like not holding back. Like, who asked you? Damn.
So for those that don't know the Daily Swole, this is the photo that I posted. Okay, I'm proud of that.
Look at he
Went
put
for
his,
workout.
he
Put
put
a,
his,
put a pouty face on.
yeah, he put his little pouty face.
It's not a
on.
pouty face.
Yo, it's
Yeah,
a
it is.
pouty face.
I raise my eyebrows because I don't like being like cheesy smile. Because this really is like a millisecond. Like I hold up my phone, I take the photo.
What
I
he
put it
did?
down.
What is that
'Cause
thing in TikTok where it's like, want to make your model face? Raise your eyebrows, smile, and then
No.
stop smiling.
I do feel very awkward standing in front of a mirror because people are looking at you. I just want to be like, click and done.
Wait, hold on. Make your pouty face and raise your eyebrows.
No, it's smile with your eyes, then stop smiling.
Wait.
No.
What is it again?
It's like
Smile with your eyes.
It's like smile with your eyes. It stops smiling. And then something else. I forget the third step.
All right, well, you did it in that photo.
Point.
Anyway, I always raise my eyebrows because I'm like, what's up?
Is it true that you call your left and right bicep Chip and Joanna?
How'd you know? No,
He's
they're both-
always, bro. He's
No.
showing off the gains.
No, they're both Chip. Joanna can't get it.
Nice.
He's like, what's up, Chip?
Okay, so that was the photo, right?
Yeah.
So that was the photo that I
All right,
posted.
so then this guy, out of left field, with
out of left field.
wait,
Sorry,
give me like a good random left fielder though, like a good random, like Benny Agbayani. This guy came with the most random of left fielders out of left field,
No joke.
and was like, "Here's what you need to know." Meanwhile, nobody asked him,
right.
and
So I said.
it's just kind of interesting. I don't even know what the takeaway
So he
is.
said, I strongly disagree with your rationalization, and which leads me to believe that he heard the show.
Okay,
So I forget what I said, and I'll have to go back and listen. Anyway, I said, accountability and inspiration doesn't work for you. And he said, I've lost 50 pounds since you last saw me. See me posting swole? Question mark? No. He goes, it's vanity and egocentrism. Your wife can give you accountability. A scale, the amount of weight you lift, and the number of repetitions you do is accountability. This is purely egocentric, and being in denial of that means you might have a mild form of hypo-egoism.
hypo egoism,
Hypo-egoism. You know.
egoism.
So egoism,
Hyped up.
hyped up. Technically, wouldn't it be hyper-egoism?
I don't know.
Because it's more... Anyway. So then I said, why post anything on social media? What's the point of social media then?
If not for a little bit of bragging.
But maybe
this
everybody
guy, let
has
me tell
hypo
you,
egoism.
This guy loves to brag about the shit he does.
Oh, this guy's like, I'm in Park City, Utah. Look at the views. I'm at this sassy restaurant. Look at my steak. I'm here. Yeah, he's a bragger.
Did you say that to him?
I did. I said, so why post anything on social media? Question mark. This is the whole thing. And then he says to share fun moments, favorite foods, updates for family and friends, you know, anything besides your own self-aggrandizement. He dropped the word self-aggrandizement.
Self-aggrandizement.
Oh, Mike Tyson word.
Right?
Self-aggrandizement.
I definitely got that from Tyson.
It's a great
and then
word.
He went on to say, by the way, my sister suffers from the same disorder as you. So now I have a disorder.
So he like diagnosed
He
Spot.
diagnosed me.
And
Did
Spot's
you
thinking-
thank him for his?
Yeah, but Spot's just thinking, I posted a picture. But don't you think he's hitting on something.
Did you give him a
And it
copay?
shouldn't
Did
be
you be
you.
like, thanks, therapist. Here's a...
No,
Apparently I
but the
should've.
world is suffering from hypo, which means I think a lower sense.
A lower sense of egoism.
Of
Hyper.
egoism.
Yeah, hyper, that's why I was like, hyper usually means higher, more, whatever.
But then it goes on. He really begins to or continues to analyze Spot and tells him
Ready?
continue with that.
So I said, it sounds like you're equally in denial, knowing how this guy posts. If you don't see how the secondary gain is, look at how awesome my life is. To what he said.
That's a good point. You don't post pictures of you eating at fancy restaurants and like, oh, I'm in Hawaii, now I'm in Park City, Utah, going to the East Coast. Like
updates for your friends.
yeah, you're not.
You're doing it to say, look at. Or you're not saying, oh, you should check out this hotel.
You
It's
don't
really
post. You don't
fun."
post a video of the girls bringing the champagne bottle with the sparkler to share with your mom.
Right.
That's a brag.
And then he says, oh no, I'm 100% bragging. So he admits he's bragging, but let's be honest. Is that what you're doing? It's like George Costanza in that painting on the couch. Great reference. You know, I love it. You know, where he's on the edge. The timeless art of seduction. I mean, send them to your wife. So he's saying if I want to show off my workout, send it to my wife, which is funny because you know who was right next to me? My wife. So I'm sharing it with the world. And then I said, I've worked hard. I'm showing people I've worked hard. And it shows that even a fat slob like me can turn it around. Get great feedback from people who have started working out as a result. And I said, like when I shared my story of my heart, so many people went out and got checked when I shared that story. Because they were like, wait a second, maybe something in me is wrong. And they went out and got checked.
And he takes like some big deal sort of stance, right?
And I said, is there ego involved? Yes, there is. Is it the driving force? No. That's what I said.
Self-aggrandizement.
And then this next line really, really fucking dug
This
in.
is the best part I remember.
He
yeah.
said, to be honest, and then he put emphasis in between these words. It's not that impressive.
He said that twice, by the way.
It really is ego.
Wow.
So he really hammered home that it's not that impressive.
I think that's kind of rude. If you
And then
ask
he
me.
like-
I think
like
it's
you
like
said-
rude.
Kind of rude.
I've lost 52 pounds since March 24th, taking prescription medicine. I didn't take prescription medicine. I went to the gym and I ate right. For weight loss and walking 5,000 steps a day. Do I need affirmation from others? No, just my wife. You look like a man fishing for a side piece. So is that his concern? Like, is he concerned that I'm out there? Like, he thinks I'm like...
That is the only point he made that is interesting. It's like...
Well, what he doesn't understand is everyone's thought in their mind when they work out is like, oh, women are going to be all over me. The reality, and there's always a meme or there's always a video about it. The reality is it's always dudes hitting you up. I get hit up by guys constantly saying, you know, like, oh, you look great. Oh, what are you doing to work out? Oh, how you eat? All that kind of shit. It's never women.
Then he says
it totally
something.
invalidates his thing.
He says something about like, as a friend who's honest, I just gotta let you know.
Yeah. And he said,
Wow.
it's my job to tell people this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hold on. So I said to him, and I say this to you too, which I feel like you guys kind of understand, but not really. You were an in-shape guy for your entire life who put on a few pounds because he got lazy, which happens. Like, you guys have been in shape your entire lives.
Not in 2009.
But I'm just saying, you get a little hefty, and then you lose weight, and you don't see that as a big deal, obviously, because you've been in shape your entire lives. For me, someone who has never been in shape, who has never had a muscle on their arm, when I put in the work and did it and made it happen, it's a much bigger deal for me. So I said that to him. He's like, not impressed.
Wow. That's kind of rude. That's very
Not
bold.
impressed. You almost died. You got healthy. Congratulations. Move on.
It's really wild. Like, the honesty is very odd.
You act like you were. Hold on. You act like you were some kind of beached whale. You had a heart attack because you were fat and lazy.
Wow, this goes
You're
on.
not fat and lazy anymore. I'm unsure why you think that makes you an inspiration.
I'm so amazed
And you know
by
what's
the
weird?
boldness of
It's-
this.
It's not like there's such an open dialogue between these two people.
Yeah.
So, like, when I tell
And
you
by the way,
it came out of left field with Benny
Completely
Agbayani,
unsolicited, and
that's just wild. About
haven't
it.
talked to this guy. Talked. Not even like social media talked.
crazy.
Not chatted. Not
Crazy.
texted. Not in person talked to this guy for over 6 months.
Do you respect his honesty, though? Even if you don't agree with it, that's how he
I don't think it's a good way. I think it's sort of rude. I don't think this.
His assessment of, like, if he were to just
Yeah, but
say,
he can't be the only guy that thinks
if he were
that.
to just
he could have
say,
went lighter about it. I think he could have
Yeah.
went way lighter. Where he's like, "Hey, look at you trying to. What are you trying to get a side piece? What's with all the selfies?" Like,
Yeah,
he
but it's
didn't-
like Kevin O'Leary, right? He's like, people think I'm mean. I'm just honest.
yeah, it's one thing to be blunt and be like, hey, listen, stop posting these selfies unless you think, unless you're trying to cheat, or, you know, unless you want, it makes your wife look bad. And then you know what I would say to him? My wife loves that I post these selfies. I do it for this, whatever. But like, he really went in. Like, he not only like tried to give me a dose of reality, but also cut me down, which I don't stand for.
He's like, please just stop. He like basically
Yeah.
told the spot to stop.
yeah.
Vanity, egocentrism, hypo-egoism. Stop.
And like, what he doesn't understand is, and I said this to him, I'm like, there are plenty of people that are fat and lazy, but aren't having quintuple bypass at 37 years old. There's clearly a little bit more at play there,
Yeah, I'm
which
amazed.
I don't think he understands.
I'm amazed that he went at you that way. I'll be honest.
You know what's interesting
Your
too, though?
argument, hold on, it keeps going.
Oh.
Your argument is flawed. Your defense is weak. You look like a guy who got in shape and is looking for validation from outside his marriage. I am. From the people that listen to the show and that follow me. I'm not looking for like women.
Hey, do you think
To
that
just suck
maybe
my
he
dick.
really just cares about you, or is it just him being a dick? Like, I can't figure it out. The whole thing was just interesting. He's like, man, dude, like, why he hating
Yeah.
so hard? Like, so
Is-
hard.
yeah, he's
It's
hating
one
hard.
thing to eye roll like we do at Spy, like, okay, Mr. Full of himself.
guy.
Right. But like, man, it was
I mean,
pretty
that's-
aggressive.
That's pretty much and then he kind of
I
trailed
don't.
off.
I don't think he's jealous.
Do you tell someone to
I think
fuck
he's just
off after
being
that?
rude.
Because even if they were right, or even if they had a point, right? Like, I don't know, maybe he he's qualified to make this assumption or analysis. Isn't there a part of you that wants to be like, fuck off, man? I didn't ask you for your opinion.
I didn't ask for your opinion.
Like,
and he says, he says, I doing this because, supposedly I'm your friend. And I'm like, it's great.
That's funny. I find it funny because it's not me, but I also find it really interesting.
I feel like this is something that would happen to you.
Oh, yeah. And that's why
stuff like this never happens to me.
That's why it stands out, because there would be part of me that would be like, does he have a point? But even if he has a point, fuck him.
Is he?
Right.
Yeah.
I know you guys slightly agree with like the sentiment, but
yeah, but
he
not
laid,
in that
he
kind of
laid
way.
it on like he went nasty.
He did Miss Janet because I call him Miss Janet now.
He went nasty. Like he went like the other way.
Is he fit shaming you?
I
Nasty
think
boy.
he is.
He's a nasty boy.
Did you hear? But did you miss like the fact that was in there?
Not impressed.
Like, oh yeah, he lost weight. I lost weight. I lost 50 pounds. Not impressive. Taking fucking diet pills. So he didn't even put in any work.
Yeah, he took a shortcut and he's comparing. That's true.
Yeah, oh sure, I got cool sculpting after I lost weight and kept it off.
Oh, you know what I was gonna say? Sometimes you get bold, like over
But I
a
don't
few
show my
drinks.
stomach.
Like maybe he's buzzed right there.
Yeah, maybe.
It's true. You know how many times people say
It was
things to
fucking
me,
1 in the afternoon.
and then I'm like, where's that coming from? And then they hit me up later and like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, man, I was having a bad day, or I was all fucked up, dude. My bad. Like people are weird.
A
like
listener
that.
hit me up just the other day. He said some rude stuff.
Yeah.
And then he apologized and we talked to. He's like, I've been hitting the bottle. I've been going through some stuff. And I'm like, yeah, no worries,
It
man.
happens all the time. When you get feedback the way we get feedback, you're amazed at how many people booze a little too much or have something going on and they're not in control of it and they're apologizing for what they said. And I'm thinking maybe he feels that way. Maybe he was just, he had a few shots.
Like it may have come from a good place with Kristen Bell, but it was wrapped in a very bad package.
It rubs me the wrong way. And I think the sentiment's funny if he hit you up and just busted your balls. That would be funny. But it wasn't that.
Yeah.
He took it
That's the difference.
too far.
Yeah, you're right.
Like I wasn't expecting that. Like I defended myself, but I wasn't nasty towards him. I was just like, hey, listen, this is how I feel. This is how I view it. This is why I feel like I do it. It's my truth. And
Any
he had to go like dark. He went dark.
any cool sculpting updates? A couple people asked. I know you did that. Do you feel like it helped at all or not really?
I think it did. Like I see like a little bit more. So like from the side, it kind of like
More definition.
the rounding is gone.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, I could show you.
No, that's impressive.
It's like I'm still kind of gooey down there, but
Do you feel like your belly is a little tightened up?
yeah, I'll show you. I don't mind.
Gooey like a soft chewy
I have
Chips
to
Ahoy.
get like before and after photos, and I'm not going until later in July for an update. So they'll probably give me the side by sides.
And by the way, the guy that was hitting up Spot was Gary Vaynerchuk.
I wish it was Gary Vaynerchuk.
Okay.
Gary V.
Okay. All right. So, Kyle, you're right. Welcome to our show. Welcome to Spotty's update.
Sorry, I don't want to be like creepy, but it kind of slimmed me out. You see how like
Yeah, that's
like,
great, Spot. Compare that to Tersh Spot and
this. Sorry, sir.
Sorry, you wanna go and come in or
I'm showing off my cool sculpting. So yeah, it's like still kind of gooey there, but it's like
yeah.
Do you
But
ever think,
that's,
can you get rid of that flap?
I'd have to probably have surgery.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yeah, it's like loose skin.
Because there's no such thing as spot reduction. But
But it's definitely like from the side. I can tell from the side, and like the back's a little slimmed out too.
So I hope you see how this all ties together.
But I
guys.
can't show it off because I'm egocentric.
Love's in the airwaves. I'm wearing the shirt. I showed you a weird picture of me from
It was
years
an interesting
ago.
conversation about weird photos.
I showed you an updated weird photo of me that haunts me. And then we talked about photos and how Spot posts them. And, he gets this weird criticism.
I sent it to you. It totally threw me off because this happened on Monday.
It would throw me off, too.
We had finally, I was finally in a good place after last week. We had talked our shit out. We had the first show. I was kind of feeling good. And it's just out of nowhere. Like, I didn't need that in my day. You're just like plugging along, like, and then someone comes along and slaps you in the face.
Well,
like, I didn't need
He's
that.
a smart guy, so I think he thinks he's helping you. I do.
But
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Right?
I think if I asked him, he'd probably be like,
Just be
I was
honest.
just trying to help out Spotty.
Just trying to help him out. Like I'm giving him
I
professional
don't think
advice.
he socially is aware of that.
like, does he know the relationship I have with my wife? No.
It's interesting.
Things are fine.
It's interesting. And you know what though?
She loves my selfies.
I do think this guy would say this
puts
to
drool
Spot's
faces
face.
on.
I do. I really do. But that's what's interesting about social media. People post and say things that they would never say in real life to somebody. So
No,
is
I
it
think
really
this guy
reality?
would say it in real
I know.
life.
He's an exception.
He's
but
an
it does
exception.
it does make you think that, that's what's so fake about social media. I mean, aside from the obvious, because people only lead with the good things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
People say things and tweet things that they would never
All right, let me-
say in
let me,
real life ever.
Let me ask you one last question about pictures, then we'll move on. Because it is interesting. You're right. There's always a few pictures that haunt you. Like, why is that picture in the mix? I look terrible, but it's like the family photo that everyone went with.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, great. We all went on vacation. The one picture that everyone's making like their profile photo. The one where I'm like blinking with my gut sticking out. Everyone has these pictures. What do you do when... I've seen this before. So it's not just in our world of radio and TV and podcasting. A lot of times people get a headshot done for their professional business.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a real estate guy, or I'm a salesperson, or I'm whatever I do, here's my business headshot. And they'll be like, what does everyone like? A, B, or C? And they'll post a few pictures. Do you take other people's word, or are you going to go with your own instinct? Because there have been times where people say, that's the one. I'm like, I don't like that picture at all. But if everyone else is saying, you look great there, what do you care more about? Other people's opinion or your own?
I think I'm looking for a unanimous opinion.
What if you said,
You know what I'm saying?
What if you said,
I'm
I
looking
need a,
for
what if you
someone
said,
to back up my instinct.
What if
there.
you said-
I'm not going to go with someone's opinion. I'm looking for the backup of what
All
I'm
right,
already
if
thinking.
you posted two pictures, right? Let's say you posted 2 or 3 pictures and you said, I need a new rock headshot for Sirius XM. It's 3 different pictures
I have
of
a
you.
perfect one of me in front of this giant rock in Yosemite.
Yeah.
It's called Half Dome.
Nothing's more rocking than that photo.
Yeah, perfect rock photo of me.
What if you were like, all right, everybody, picture 1, 2, or 3.
Where did it go?
And in your heart, you're like, yo, 2 is my favorite picture. And everyone else is saying something else.
I prefer, this is 2. I like 2. The photo.
Yeah.
Who wants to listen to that guy rock?
This guy rocks.
That guy should be on Pop 2K with Rich.
Because there are times where...
Here's number 3.
So
I
weak.
just wonder, like, what do you go with? The one that, like, let's say you're printing out a wedding photo of you and your wife to hang on your
I'm
fucking
going with
mantle.
my instinct.
Your instinct, you don't
Yeah.
care what other people think.
Not that much.
Seriously, are you holding a joint?
He's holding a
I
camera.
think that was like the first time you guys saw me out of my element or something, which made it really odd. I don't know what it was exactly that made that photo of me in front of Yosemite Half Dome was weird to you
Yosemite.
at the time. But that takes us to our rando news. But Rich, when I'm asking people for the opinion, and I do that often with my family.
I'm gonna say a lot of people
looking
do that.
for
A lot
them
of
to
people do
back
that.
up. I'm waiting to see, like, I'm right about this, right? You all agree? And if they don't, then I'm still going with my instinct, most likely. But I'm really just looking for that validation,
No, you're right.
which really, if I'm just going to do what I thought in the first place, really doesn't matter.
But a lot of times there'll be an event where Covino and I are hosting it, and someone grabbed a picture of us. Now, they're not going to analyze it the way we would, but they clearly thought it was a good picture. They're not going to, if you're working for them, they're not going to take an ugly photo of you, but in your
they're
mind,
not
like,
looking at the thing. They're not looking for the things that bother you about you, right?
yeah.
Like if you got Russell Crowe's feet and you don't like it, the guy choosing that photo, he doesn't give a fuck. He's like, he's got crow's feet. What do I care?
Yeah.
He looks good there. So the
It's a
rando
good
news,
point.
the rando news of the day, Wednesday, June 29th.
By the way,
Let's go.
I'm going to reveal who it was. It was Henry Winkler.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Hi, Christian. You're not the way you used to be. Hypo-egoism, much is not good. Hank Zipser. We should write a book about it.
It wasn't Henry Winkler. It was Tony Danza. Oh, who's in the news?
Hey, my guys. Hey, Spotty. Hey, Spotty. I don't know what the point of
me. I'm a in shape guy. I don't post. I'm bragging about it. Oh,
Attendance, stay in shape.
Must be that ego disorder.
And you know what? Right here, this is a Metro card. I ride the Metro. I walk around the suburbs.
My
city.
guys. Hey, he's in the news. Tony Danza and Alyssa Milano have signed on to do Who's the Boss.
I think that's cool as hell.
Hey, yo. Oh, wait.
Hey.
I think it's awesome.
Now, if the
It was one of the best
storyline,
shows of our childhood.
if the
From start
storyline,
to finish.
if the storyline is what I think it'll be, then I love it. If Alyssa Milano, Samantha, plays the woke version, almost like of her real life self, and Tony's a little old school still, I think that dynamic would be good.
Samantha, your baby girl has a dong. Yeah, like now she's the mother of a, transgender person.
Like, hey, yo, Samantha, like, my grandson. It's they. Oh, they? What do you mean? It's a he.
According
Yeah, but they go.
There's
they go,
one person.
There's one person, Samantha. But it's a they, Dad. It's a they. There's one of them. Oh, hey.
And he could do it from a playful place. Like he would be great to take that angle because
I
you still
do.
would love Tony Danza.
Old school Italian guy
Right, he
who's
just
having a
doesn't
hard
get it.
time adjusting.
He just doesn't get it. He's not trying to be a dick about it, right?
Now, if they go with that angle,
Here's the angle.
I think it's a winner. All right, let's hear it.
According to Deadline, the revival will take place 30 years after the events of Who's the Boss and center on Samantha's new life as a single mother, as well as her relationship with her retired father. Pinging viewers' nostalgia, the show will even take place in the same house where it was originally set.
Oh, cool.
Judith Light and Danny Pintaro are also supportive of the sequel.
Supportive, but are they involved?
Yes.
Yes,
Probably not on every episode. Sort of like how Fuller House had
but it'll
like
happen, right?
Stamos cameos every few
I
episodes.
think that's great. I think they should. I can't say I wasn't a big fan. I was more of a Wesley from Mr. Belvedere fan.
Trade any room in 2 minutes.
But I would want them involved in the show as a fan. So cool, man. I'm excited about that.
Ayo,
Way back on a Wednesday, Tony Danza, is a great dude. Really nice guy. Tony Danza is everything you'd hope he'd be in person.
Tony Danza as an unwoke, trying to figure it out grandpa is the best angle. If they don't go with that angle, I'm going to be disappointed. Like
it says the new comedy will explore generational differences as well as opposing worldviews and parenting styles within the dynamic of a modern family in 2022.
Yeah, I'd give him a little slap on the butt. Dad, we don't hit our kids. Hey, well, you never hit your kids? Yeah, I think there could be. There's potential there.
Samantha, why are you breastfeeding in public?
Dad, it's not offensive. Yeah, Samantha, put away your titties.
That's Samantha. That's a titty.
So funny. So that's official, like Danielle Fishel. I like that.
There is no Danielle Fishel news.
That's Topanga. She's the other hottie from another generation. So, in other news, a perfectly preserved baby mammoth that lived 30,000 years ago was discovered in Canada somewhere. A miner in Canada went looking for gold, found something even rarer, a mummified baby woolly mammoth, perfectly preserved.
I've heard
Was
that they
found
are
frozen in the Klondike gold fields in the Trondheim Huech in traditional territory.
Sorry, what? What would you do for a Klondike?
I am convinced, though, that I've read multiple places that woolly mammoths are like, we could get them back.
Yeah.
But
Like woolly mammoths, we're capable of it.
I mean, yeah, but why?
And it was a 30 to 35 day old mammoth when it was died. When it died.
All you
So
need
it's
is
a baby.
all you need is a little DNA, right? A little something.
I mean, didn't we learn anything from the Jurassic World franchise? Jurassic Park franchise?
Would you want to see a fucking T-Rex? I feel like every day my kids, all they care about is dinosaur cartoons and shows. They're into dinosaurs. That's their thing. But like, I'm thinking, there's something, I think I said it was on Apple. There's like a dinosaur documentary. Dinosaur.
Have you ever seen a moose in person?
Yeah.
Moose is pretty wild. The
They're
Jersey moose.
galloping down the
They are
the
giant,
street in Jersey.
right? They're giant and frightening. That's a moose. Now picture a dinosaur that wants to eat you with its tiny arms and its big teeth. I don't want that.
I learned that T-Rexes could swim.
I thought the mammoth story was pretty cool though, but it's only 30,000 years ago.
It's wild.
And I say only because there was another story. They found these skulls. Joe Rogan was all about this. Joe Rogan, you crazy? And he was talking and posting about it. They found these skulls in South Africa. Early fossils of human skulls. Found in a
That's
cave.
Just bring that back.
And upon research, this backs up Rich's theory, Rich. You've always said this. Rich always says that he doesn't believe in carbon dating. And I'm like, what do you fucking mean by that? I don't believe in it. Like a weird take that Rich always stood by. I don't believe in it.
Where would you take carbon on a date?
I don't believe in carbon dating. I don't know what methods they use to figure this out, but they found these skulls that they are now saying are expected to be 3.4 to 3.6 million years old. So woolly mammoth, 30,000 years ago. Skulls, early human skulls, 3.4 to 3.6 million years ago. But what's interesting about the story is, not that they found these skulls in this South African cave, is that they were 1 million years off. Originally, they thought they were like 2 million years old. Okay. Like, that's a significant amount of time.
Yeah,
dude,
1 million years.
That's a million years off.
Once you get past 1 million, everything's gravy.
No, that's like hugely significant in regards to evolution and how things came to be. It's like, you're way off the time scale here.
We're still a blip on
True, but that's a lot of time.
the history of the Earth.
And
Still a
that
blip.
puts things in perspective.
We're a sesame seed on the timeline of the.
So early human fossils found in cave are 1 million years older than expected, or 3.4 to 3.6 million years old, found in South Africa. And it's just a cool story.
Spot, I sent you a TikTok clip about
Sure you did, Rich.
about, I guess, how, you talk about these things are millions of years ago. Some comedian does a bit about, imagine if you were born right after Jesus. Have you seen this one or no?
I don't think so.
I just sent it to our CNR text message. You got me thinking of it just because you were talking about 1 million years ago, 2 million years ago. What year? Take a look at this guy. I think it's
Can you imagine being born in like 4 AD in your whole life? Everyone's just like, oh, you just missed Jesus. He's just here. Yeah, he died. What happened? Was he sick? No, he wasn't sick. I mean, he was fucking gnarly, but wasn't sick. How did he die? Oh, like a whole town publicly beat him almost to death, and they hammered him to a log and stabbed him with a sword. Oh, shit. So he was like a bad guy, huh? No. He was like the #1 dude the world has ever had. Yeah, welcome to Earth. None of this shit makes sense. Go dig a hole and drink water out of it. Yeah, that's how we get water. It sucks down. Can you imagine me?
No, he blew the joke, so it threw me off from the get-go.
Why?
Because he said, imagine if you were born in 4 AD. Jesus was essentially born in 0 AD, in the year of our Lord. So in 4 AD, Jesus was still alive. Jesus was 4 years old.
Oh, so he messed up the framework of his joke?
Yeah, it threw me off. Technically, Jesus would live till 33 AD.
Oh. Comedy Central didn't check him, huh?
No.
Yeah. Weak.
Jesus was 4 in 4 AD.
See?
Thank you, Bill Waxon, Cold Maxon, and Relaxin' Jackson. In other news, Mike Durband hit me up. Mike Durband is a music savant, right? Mike Durband is a listener friend of ours. He's great with photoshops. He helps out a lot behind the scenes.
It's funny.
And he's way into He-Man and collecting toys and rocking out and instruments and music. Durband. He puts the music in Durband. Hit me up. He goes, you guys got to talk about this. Please mention that the #1 film in America this past weekend is the tremendous movie that knocked Top Gun Maverick out of the #1 spot. Elvis.
Didn't they tie? Or was it?
And I said, well, it looks great. How was it? And again, this is from a music fan, so take it for what it is.
Top Gun Maverick, the first of Tom Cruise's movies to gross $1 billion.
Wow.
The first of the time.
Billion.
Right?
That's inspiring.
$1 billion.
That's inspiring. I don't see him bragging about it.
And I'm sure, I feel like, doesn't he always work in deals where he gets a percentage of
I'm sure on this one he did because he didn't want to do it.
He's banking.
At this level, sure.
This motherfucker.
Mike Durband says, from Chicago, Mike, fucking amazing. Best music biopic ever. From a guy who's probably seen them all. Best music biopic ever. I shed one at the end. The guy, Austin Butler, did a perfect job. It's unreal. The music scenes were amazing. And I said, Any sex and nudity? What if I took my kid? Because that might be a cool movies that rock to me. Movies about music.
Movies
are
that
just-
rock.
That's what they used to call it on VH1.
Movies that rock.
They inspire me. I feel like my kid would like it. Sex, nudity. What's the deal? They imply he was hooked on prescription drugs. They never show him doing it. No nudity, no sex.
They didn't need to imply
Innocent
that.
kissing. That's it. He says, but if you're going to see it, I recommend you see it in a theater. Got to have that concert theater sound. But, I mean, the guy was giving it rave reviews.
Well, Priscilla Presley
And it
even
looks
said it was
great.
fantastic. So
Yeah.
if Elvis's wife said it was fantastic and this kid, Austin Butler, is great, then isn't her word better than anyone?
Yeah.
Very, very excited to see it.
I'm not an Elvis guy.
In honor of Phyllis.
Do you feel like your mom would have watched this?
Yeah.
She would have.
You gotta see it.
Makes me sad. Honestly, like thinking about it does make me really sad.
She would have loved
like
it.
seeing the trailers and everything is kind of made like I've teared up a bit. Because yeah, she loved Elvis. She saw everything that he's been in. She knows every piece of music.
My dad
I have
saw Elvis
recordings of
live.
her voice asking Amazon to play Elvis songs. Yeah. She loved Elvis.
My dad saw him. My dad, who never saw any concert live, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure saw Elvis live. But yeah, I'm super stoked to see it. Didn't grow up in an Elvis family.
My mom was a big Elvis.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, we all acknowledge it, right? He was a great. Whether you want to debate he's the king of rock and roll or not, who cares? He was Elvis, and that dude was not only like talented and had the voice of gold. Dude was incredibly handsome,
So handsome.
especially for his time, though, right?
Yeah.
Spot where people were conventionally like just white looking.
Stuffy.
No, but he had like a really
Well, that was the
cool
whole
look
thing.
about him for back then.
He was a young-looking white boy with
Those
the voice,
blue eyes.
with the voice of a black man, and that's what sold him. That's what made him so popular back then.
That's wild. He's a wild guy, man.
And
When you look at what he was doing.
He used black music to get wealthy. Hey, there's a concept that works.
I can't wait to see how Tom Hanks portrays the Colonel, because the Colonel was a dick.
Yeah, Tom
He
Hanks.
he squeezed every ounce of life out of Elvis. He set his career on such a horrible path. Elvis could have done so much more. It probably led him to his death.
Oh yeah, I think the underlying tone of this movie is not only his greatness, but how like the industry failed this guy.
It's the Colonel.
Like he was, like
he
here's
used
a
him.
treasure that we just let like fall apart.
Let me tell you, ask my mother about Colonel Tom Parker.
Yeah,
And she would have gone off about how
also
disgusting he was.
So Tom Hanks plays a villainous
He's
guy.
essentially a villain.
Wow, that's interesting.
Pretty cool.
How
Yeah.
often have we seen Tom Hanks play that role? Not that often.
Elvis was super handsome for that time.
Yeah,
That's the key to
right?
it, right?
Oh, you know, I never even put this together. John Harris just said it. It comes full circle. Tom Hanks, as a kid in Forrest Gump, taught Elvis to dance. And then Elvis became popular.
Yeah.
And was then managed by Tom Hanks.
I think not only was Elvis super handsome and just like, he did something different, right?
sex
That-
symbol too, though.
He was shaking his hips and people were like, oh my God, for heavens to Betsy.
Imagine, like, it's really comical when you think about it because it was new for the time. No one had seen it, right?
I think they have that don't show his hip shaking.
Yeah, of course. But like, he just put some extra hip movements and growl into what he did, and women would go nuts. You ain't nothing but a boom, boom, boom. Girls are like, ah. That's what we fail to recognize as people sometimes. Like when we see things in history, it's like when we heard Nirvana for the first time, we had never heard anything like that. That's what made it magical. No one had ever seen anything like Elvis before. We grew up, it was there. We know, that's Elvis. But that was the first time the world had seen anything like it. People don't consciously think of that. And that's why it was a big deal.
And by the way, there's new music in the movie, and apparently it's not distracting. They want it on purpose. They said, we want to include some new music on the soundtrack to sort of give it a fresh vibe.
This is from either my mom or dad. Steve, are you kidding me? I love Elvis. Play his music all the time. This is your mom. My favorite song is I Want You, I Need You, I Love You.
I want
My mom is full of doggy do, as she would say. My mom played Three Dog Night.
you dumbass.
Led Zeppelin once in a while. The Guess Who. My mom loves the Guess Who when it comes to like rock and stuff. A lot of doo-wop shit, the teenagers, and a lot of mariachi music. My mom never played Elvis growing up, ever. Not for me. I listened all the time. I'm not saying she didn't love him. I'm just saying, my mom, Beatles family. My family's a Beatles family. My mom always played the Beatles. I'm not saying she don't like Elvis. I'm just saying she didn't play a lot of Elvis around me. When I think of Elvis, I think my Aunt Nancy liked Elvis. That's what I think.
Steven, you know I love them.
Yeah. But my mom obviously has a great respect for Elvis.
You got married by Elvis.
I got married by Elvis, guys. So Elvis, number one. In other movie news, Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace.
Black Panther.
The Black Panther died. And I don't know if I'm getting this story wrong or what, but he didn't have a will, which reminds me to remind everybody, to remind myself that.
Especially if
Isn't yours Pendarvis?
Especially if you have kids.
Hey, yeah, it's like, here's a guy with a fortune, and he didn't have, and who knew he was sick, and he didn't have a will. But then they say his fortune's $2.3 million, and it's like, that's it? How's that possible?
Could be.
The guy was making movies for years.
2.3 million.
How was that even like? I was perplexed by that.
So,
but then his wife, what ended up happening, I believe, is his wife insisted, since there was no will, that they split his fortune between his two parents equally.
Which, let me tell you.
But hey, get your will done. I don't know.
Doesn't always happen. So
get your affairs in order. I agree. If you know you're dying, also.
Yeah,
right?
he was sick,
it's
man. That's
possible
weird.
It's possible he had other assets. It's possible.
Yeah, he might have had like a $5 million house. He may have only had, that makes sense.
So maybe she might be living in the house that they owned, and might have just said, "Take the money, we have the house," or something like that. But yeah.
Hey, 2.3 million is a lot. I just would expect the guy
but also,
on that level to probably have a little more.
Jake makes sense. He really got super big towards the very end of his life.
True.
So.
Yeah. Black Panther
was the final chapters of his life.
True. And then in other news, just to wrap it up, for the tennis fans out there, this is a two-part story. Serena Williams out of Wimbledon, Father Time wins. It's always, even if you're a tennis fan or not, it's always sad to see the great ones go down.
My saddest moment was Mike Tyson talking in the ring about how I just don't have the fight. That to me,
I don't have the fighting guts.
When Mike Tyson when Mike Tyson was like, I did it for the money. I don't have the fighting guts. I just do it because I'm making money. Like that was the saddest legend.
I think it's Tyson's last fight. I just don't have the fighting guts.
I do it for the money. I do it for the money.
For the money. I'm not the same man. But Serena Williams played her heart out. She's out of Wimbledon. But there's a side story that's almost, I don't want to say it's trumping that story, but I'm pretty sure it's former tennis player / broadcaster Catherine Whitaker, who's come out and saying the women's dress code for Wimbledon is like absurd and ridiculous. The way you feel about the Yankees shaving policy is what she's saying about the women's dress code for Wimbledon.
Well,
and she's taking
seems pretty freeing.
What?
Like the dress code.
No. She's saying, can you imagine being on, she's taking this really bold stance. She's like, being on your period
and wearing white
and being forced to wear white. They have to wear the traditional standard white little outfit,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
People,
it really is.
And it's trending. It's becoming a big story. Like, and women's rights are in question right now. So people are like, why are you for? I imagine the underlying reasoning behind why this is even blowing up even more is like, why are you telling women what to do? They can wear what they want. And why are you forcing them to wear white? Like, how's that comfortable for them? So it's becoming a big story behind the scenes in the world of tennis and again, trending. So.
There's certain things that when you really think about it, they do seem so outdated, right? I mean,
it's tradition.
A woman,
but I'm not saying this.
But I'm saying women like wear the special outfit. Sounds a little crazy in 2022.
Women don't have to shave their beards, Bill. The Yankees do. And Rich always says that's so lame and outdated.
It is.
And sometimes tradition is making the same mistake over and over and over again. That could be this. It's like, they are women. They should be able to make their own decisions. And there is this other element to their body that is a little like, hey, let's have some understanding that maybe they don't want to wear white.
Yep.
Never thought of it that way.
Pretty wild.
I never thought about it. So that's your rando news of the day.
Did you want to see the Tyson clip?
I do, yeah. And this is how you feel when you see the greats go down.
What part of the fight?
I don't know. Early into the fight, I'm just sorry I let everybody down. I just don't have this in my heart anymore.
Did you feel as though you had it coming into the fight?
No, I'm just fighting to take care of my bills, basically. I don't have the stomach for this kind of no more. I'm more conscious of my children and those guys looking at my parents. I don't have that ferocity. I'm not an animal anymore.
Does that mean we won't see you fight again?
Yeah, that's most likely. I'm not going to fight again. I'm not going to disrespect the sport anymore by losing to this caliber of fighters.
Mike, a lot of people wonder what you'll do now with your life. Boxing has been your whole life.
Well, I'm sure I'll find something to do. Boxing doesn't define me. I'm just sorry to disappoint the people in the city. I know I didn't have it in my stomach no more, but I was in dire needs to take care of my life. I'm just being honest. I'm not taking nothing away from Kevin. I don't love this no more. I'm just in here. I don't love this no more. I even love fighting since 1990. But Kevin, congratulations on your career and good luck.
Yeah, that was one of the saddest exits to me in sports. I just don't got it. Yeah.
What Mike Tyson has is just an innate ability. Was that the word?
Yeah.
Clandestine is the word.
Fell for granted.
To express himself in ways that people you would expect to express themselves, and they can't.
Yeah.
Like people who claim to have this intelligence about them could never express themselves the way Mike Tyson has the ability to express themselves. His level of honesty is insane. And that's what makes him so intriguing.
I love him.
Yeah,
That's why I love him.
But you know what else is weird about this? I can almost get, it's like Mandela effect. I'm 99.9% positive. He says, I just don't have the fighting guts. I promise you I didn't make that up.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear that once in that clip.
I don't have the fighting guts.
I didn't hear it though.
Something about stomach.
No, I don't have the fighting guts. Either I made that up or it's Mandela effect. I'm almost positive he says that.
No, Mandela.
I just don't have the fighting guts anymore. So before we move on, some shout outs to give. These are important ones.
Oh.
Shout outs to give. Shout out first mostly to our buddy Vic in Toronto.
The man from Toronto.
Vic in Toronto.
Yeah, that's who they're talking about.
But most importantly, congrats to his daughter, Sophia DeRosa, and the graduating class of St. Michael's in Bolton, Ontario. Congratulations, Sophia.
Hey.
Vic's daughter and the graduating class. And what makes it crazy, not only for Vic, but everybody, is that Vic said he started listening to his show, this show, when his daughter was a baby.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Times are flying. So congratulations. Shout out to Sam, to Stu, all the Rashans, all the Browns, and all the Carls. Thank you guys for being part of this.
I sent you a video that's just pretty topical for all the current news cycle and everything. If you want to just play it, I sent it at...
Oh, and Jake Anderson, what's up?
I sent it at 9:45 this morning, a little TikTok video. And then I have one question for you guys, and it has to do when friends get weird.
You mean like the guy that hit up Spot?
Yes.
What the fuck?
That was a little weird.
So weird.
I can't believe he was that bold. But here, play this one video, and then I have a question about how to handle weirdness. All right, let's go.
Hello, I am Thomas.
Oh, Tommy J, back from the dead. What's up, dude?
I'm just visiting posterity to see how the United States are doing.
Well, dude, you can't get much better than greatest country on earth.
Wonderful. So what new and improved constitutions have you composed with the progresses of the human mind in the past 2 centuries?
What are you talking about? We still got the Constitution.
Yes, but which one?
What do you mean, which one? The Constitution. You ought to know, you wrote it, dude.
Well, no, it was largely Madison. I was actually in France. Wait, you're still using the Constitution from 235 years ago?
Well, obviously, Tom, it's the best document ever. Well, I mean, only number 2 behind the Bible.
Well, only after one takes out all that mythical nonsense with the miracles and the resurrection. But hold on a minute. Did you not read that I suggested redrafting a constitution about every 19 years?
What?
Institutions must advance to keep pace with the times. Surely you must have penned new documents with which to govern.
Nah, dude, the Second Amendment is perfect just as it is.
So you have a well-regulated militia providing security for the free state.
Do what now?
A militia that is well regulated.
What are you talking about? No, guns, Tom. We get to have guns.
Well, no, that's not what it's to provide a well-regulated militia that shall...
No, dude. It's about if someone breaks into my house,
point
I'm
is-
going to whip out my AR-15 and...
Do you think the forefathers thought that we would adjust shit every 20 years like Thomas Jefferson insinuated? Like, yeah, every 20 years we should probably go over all this.
There are only 4 of them?
What did they intend?
Yeah, do you think they intended that
I would
200
say
of the years later
they were
would be like...
intelligent guys who probably knew that the world would be ever changing, right? I mean,
But do you think they would think that we'd still be referring to this document
I
200 something years later?
I said this the other day during the news conversation. Yeah, we're looking at a document from 235 years ago and holding it at face value. We need to adapt, much like the Bible.
Well,
you can't take that document was written 3,000 years ago. You need to kind of, well, not 3,000, but you need to adapt.
Yeah, but it's just a weird thought that we do reference something that was written by guys in the 1700s.
yeah, when the world was so different than it is now.
So it's just one of those weird thoughts that, hey, was the intention for every roughly 20 years to reassess, and we just haven't?
Yeah, I mean, look, because we create new laws and new rules,
Amendments and so,
amendments for the ever-changing world we live in now, but we keep the old ones the same. That really doesn't make that much sense.
Here's a horrible analogy. It's like when you buy a TV and then you hook up your cable box, right? And you're like, okay, that wire is nice and dressed. And then you like start getting all these other devices, right? And you still, it's like you never adjust the configuration. You're just adding on top of it. And it's not necessarily the best configuration. Sometimes you just need to pull everything out.
Start over?
Start from scratch and redo everything just so it's nice and neat. I think that's what we need to do. That's my analogy. Thank you.
It's just a weird thought to think we refer to something from that long ago. Like, I saw someone making the argument the other day about even trying to teach kids out of textbooks in school. Like, how outdated is that thought? Like, if everything we do should sort of be adjusted to the times as
The fact
people
that we don't
evolve.
teach kids about finance and investing is ridiculous.
Or hey, here's how you get in
enter
debt.
the real world. You know, Christopher Columbus is really going to help you in the real world. Here you go. Meanwhile, you know nothing as a kid about how to balance a checkbook. I mean, that's even an old reference, but how to deal with your money, you know, and how to invest and what to do. That's something Gary Vee talks about all the time, but that's insane that it's not part of like every child's curriculum.
Yeah.
Yet the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria is like, you know, bushwhackers and scallywags. That shit's priority. But preparing a kid for life is not.
Yeah, there's just a lot of adjustments that over the years needed to be probably looked at. But as Spot said, that's a great analogy, actually, Spot. Where, yeah, you attach one wire in your
Your TV looks like this.
yeah,
There's
all these
in
wires and things, and you're like, oh, you know what? If I start over, I could probably do it cleaner.
I would argue.
I would say it's a great foundation to start from and make the adjustments to today's world.
Like,
you know, I don't think the forefathers predicted cyber crimes, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that we have amendments to allow people to vote.
Yeah.
It's like, or allow women to vote or whatever. When that stuff had to be added on, that's when you know you need to just pull the plug, hit the reset button, and start from scratch.
Okay, but hold on. Now, Rich posed this.
Because we have amendments to a document that we're still adhering to that allow rights to people. So don't you think the original document should just kind of be redone?
Well, you need a foundation.
Yes.
I get it.
But to think that someone from the 1980s isn't living the world that we're living now, let alone the 1700s. We're talking
from the 90s is not living.
We're talking when there was no electricity. We're talking about when people there were no bullets. They were like muskets. We're talking about when
they're defending their properties,
their land. Yeah, like it's
their land, and
it's a very
totally
different world.
So yeah, adjustments need to be made. Foundation's important.
I think the foundation's important. I do.
But you pose this with when your friends start getting weird. So,
no. That was something different. I just.
Well, what did that have to do with anything?
What, this video?
No, the friends getting
Oh, I
weird.
said I have a story.
Oh.
This
Okay.
has unrelated.
Got it. I thought that led to this.
But I do think that, and it's not, this is not has nothing to really do with guns or this or Roe v. Wade. I'm just saying
Guns.
it's amazing to think that we really do stand by, like, because you'll see people in the news, and it's not just Fox, but people will be like, well, and they're talking about when people wrote something 200 plus years ago, as if that is applicable today. You couldn't really relate to your grandparents because you guys grew up all different.
Hey, what are your thoughts on Roe versus Wade?
Oh, I don't watch boxing.
He doesn't watch boxing. Get it?
You see that meme? Yes, about
He doesn't watch.
what do you think about Roe v. Wade? Oh, I don't watch boxing.
What's up, bro?
Not
It's just a meme. And some
stupid
girl's
meme.
like, I don't watch boxing. So
one last thing. I wanted to bring this up because I feel like shit.
You look it.
Thanks, bud. I won't post any gym selfies
you look
today.
tired as fuck.
Tired as fuck.
I am tired.
He looks tired AF, as someone said to me recently. He's like, hey, thanks. By the way, that dude hit me up. I told you that, right?
Yeah.
He's like, yo, man, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's all good, dude. You just give me stuff to talk about. It's all right. I'm not like upset about it because the guy that said it's a good dude.
It was Vic, wasn't it?
No. Yeah, it was Vic in Toronto. It was Henry Winkler, actually.
Hi.
Hi. You're looking tired as fuck. Hi.
But he loves the photo of me looking fat, which is weird.
Yeah, interesting. I don't really have the energy to get all passionate about this right now. But how do you feel about friends or family getting real weird and not distancing yourself, but trying to figure out, like, how do I fit into their world if they're all weird?
Gotta be a little.
Well, I'll be more specific. Yeah.
Please.
Like, all right, if all of a sudden, I'll just use Spot as an example because
Okay.
he would never do this. But what if Spot got super conspiracy theory, and Spot was the guy that thought the birds aren't real and they're charging on telephone poles and the Earth is flat, and if one of your friends started going off the deep end,
By the way, where did the birds aren't real thing start? Like, what is that about?
They think they're drones.
I understand
To spy
that,
on us.
but like, when did that
I don't
become
know.
a thing?
Do you ever see a bird skeleton?
Yes,
I do. Yeah.
You want to know a random story? Remember I told you Melody fell off a bike
Yeah.
just last weekend? When she fell off the bike, she fell on top of a dead baby, like skeleton. But I didn't want to point it out to freak her out.
Like,
yeah. I saw it there, like the dead bird. Yeah. So yeah, we see it all the time. They're there.
So I'm just more wondering, like, if one of your friends got all strange, like believed in all conspiracies, started doubting pretty common things, acting peculiar, changing the way they live, would you have a conversation with them? Would you be like, hey, they're going through something? Would you distance yourself? Would you, like, how do you handle those scenarios?
I don't think you could change people's mindset with those things. Even if you politely tell them, like Jordan has friends that send her things that disturb her and bother her after a while. She's kindly said, like, look, I appreciate your passion in this, and I appreciate you looking out for me, but you're not going to change my opinion. So please just stop sending me these things because they're upsetting. And like, I don't even want to, hear what you have to say. Yet those people continue, like, they still send it thinking that they're going to change that person's mind. So at that point, I think you just have to really make it clear that you're not going to talk about those things. Like I said, even though that's not going to work. But a lot of times in today's world, it's not even about the conversation. It's about the links that someone's sending you, right? The screenshots that someone's sending you. But I distance myself from a lot of those conversations if I don't want to hear it. That doesn't mean that it's going to stop.
I think
it's like, is it a friend or a relative? A friend, you could be like, I mean, either one you could distance yourself from, but I think that matters a little bit.
My scenario is more
because the relative's never going to really go away.
All right, let me list a few things that are strange.
Okay.
And you tell me, like, how you feel about, like, if one of your friends said this.
Okay.
They are homeschooling their kids because they don't want the school system to flood their kids' minds with, like, propaganda. So I'm like, you're homeschooling your kids.
I could see moving. I could see moving your family because, like, I don't want my kids growing up with these sort of things going on.
Right. Like, what used to be sort of funny, like, oh, they're pretty stocked up on stuff. They're, like, bunker stocked up because they think, like, shit's going down.
Sounds pretty bunk.
You're like, wow, you really do. You have, like, fucking 3 years worth of... So wait, how much? If things go wrong...
Did you
we
say
have about
something
3
like
years of food?
Did you be like, all right, Archie Bunker, just to at least, like, you know, like, make a joke out of it?
No. So they become Bunker Boy. So if
All the same person?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Homeschooling Bunker Boy.
I could take like one, like all these things collectively is different too, right? If one person all of a sudden is doing all this stuff. Okay. Anything else?
All right,
like
let's
just
see.
they can't get off the
Homeschooling?
political conversation,
All right. Oh, and
right?
they think like it's not even like pro-Republican or Democrat. They think like you'll see within a year, like this whole society will blow up, and that's why we got our food and we got the like. But to the point where you're right, they're sending me articles, and the articles and videos are like bunk homemade.
Never from reliable sources. Never, ever.
No,
that's the thing. And like I said, Jordan will be like, listen, she has friends like this too. Listen, every article you send me is from an unreliable resource.
Like a blog.
It's from some blog. Like, this is not, like, if you're going to send me something, like, please stop. Please stop sending me it unless it's from a valid source, because I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read it. And they still do it anyway. That was like my point. I don't know if it's different in real life, though. It's easy to send someone a text or a link.
But Sarah and I were saying how as time goes on,
when you see these people in real life,
as time
do they
goes
still
on,
do it?
It's tougher to even avoid these conversations, right? Like when you just fundamentally disagree with someone on everything, but you're friends with them.
You know what it's like a
Do
little bit?
you tell them like, hey, listen, we're hanging. We have a great time. Don't bring up any of this stuff.
Yeah, you have to, but that doesn't mean that they.
But
What we got like a one-track mind on it.
we've seen people distance themselves from these people, and their angle is like they think everyone's a weirdo because they think what they're doing is like the right thing. Does that make sense? Like if all of a sudden all your friends were like
perfect sense.
Yeah, like hey Covino. If Covino was doing weird shit and everyone's like, yeah, Covino's weird, and he's like, yeah, everyone distanced themselves from me because they're all weird. It's like, no, maybe. You know?
You're starting to see like people's true colors in crisis situations, right? Because the world it's a weird place. So when you see how people react to these things and the changes, and it says a lot about who they are. It's like Lord of the Flies a little bit. You know, like you're seeing like, wow, this person's really, he's taking on a really weird role in this situation we're in right now.
But they think things are gonna go way haywire.
I mean,
almost cute. They're not QAnon, but like that same level of like extreme, like where it's like they think
every great empire falls, right? I mean, and things look glum. Things do look bad.
Glib.
So glib.
No, glum.
Glum or glib?
Glum.
Glum.
Glib. I think you were right.
Lisa Peragio brings up a question
Doesn't
that I
mean
have a great
that it
answer
can't.
for.
It was glib.
Why can't people agree to disagree and respect each other anyway? A lot of times, because if someone
Can't we
stands for
all just
something,
get along?
no, because if someone, I saw this because someone goes, whatever happened to like, we'll be friends, but respect our differences. Because if your differences could hold someone back or their cause back, then are you really friends?
No, I just think your differences could ruin my good time. I don't want to. I'm the type of guy that doesn't want to talk about those things anyway. Like, yeah, dude, let's talk about like fucking. I don't know. Let's talk about the Elvis movie, man. I heard it's good. Like, why do you want to talk about this?
Like, you know,
you're not going to change my mind. This is awkward now.
I feel like when we hang out, we don't throw like political views in each other's faces.
No,
you watch Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, let's talk about Beavis and Butthead do the universe. Let's talk about like places we'd like to visit There's lots of things to talk about other than political conflicts and social issues. And that's what has consumed so much of our thoughts and conversation. And some people can't get off it. They have the inability. You know, Rich, like you like to, you know how people assume that we bring everything back to sports?
Yeah.
Some people just have that one track mind. Like we grew up in a time where no one really talked about their political beliefs and politics. Like, what am I, a politician? Why would I talk about
Maybe
that
that's
stuff?
the problem.
Now everyone's growing up where it is normal conversation, or they're just consumed by it and they can't get off that train track of thought. All roads lead back to that somehow. Like, yeah, man, I was gonna take my kid to see Lightyear. Lightyear? Let me tell you about Disney. And I get it. These are important conversations, but it's like that's not even what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I was about to say, hey, and instead we went to see Elvis. Yeah, that's great. I heard it's great. But let me tell you about Disney.
Oh, you got to know this.
And they're trying to make our kids gay. Which people probably think I think. Of course I don't. You know, but
it's like, in my mind, I don't have the power to do anything. So, in my mind, it's not even worth bringing up. And I know that's...
People can't get off it.
I know.
They have a boner for it, man. They have a boner for their... And they also want to hear themselves talk about it, too, because they're so knowledgeable. It's like Rich with tease bets, or Rich with football schedules, or Rich when talking about the 49ers. He can't... Once he starts, he can't stop.
Yeah.
What's the line in it's like self-help or rehab, recovery? It's like, God grant me the strength to embrace things I cannot change or something like that.
You mean what my mom says under her breath like 30 times a day?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like,
God,
give me the strength. The thing, God, Lord, give me strength.
Yeah, you dumbass.
Stuff like that. Like, I've fully embraced that I can't change things. Let somebody else do it. Let somebody else worry, and I'll just go home and eat pizza.
Those conversations are exhausting. So yeah, Rich, I distance myself from people, or I try to distance myself from those conversations. So when they start to happen, I let them say what they got to say, and I'm like, "Yo, bro, good pizza places around here." You know, like, yo,
I mean, you
for
have
real,
to, I
like,
guess.
You got a good pizza place? Like, what's your spot? Because I'm not trying to talk about that with you. I'm really not.
Yeah, no, it's
if I see the difference, if there's a commonality,
it's a weird thing because it's like Sarah and I were like, yeah, we love these people, but they're getting weirder and weirder, and we are like, then it gets to a point where you're like, you want your kids like hanging around their kids if their kids are being fucking brainwashed and weird?
Problem is, you sent something in regards to this in our group text the other day. People are just too far right, and people are just too far left. There's not enough people talking about the middle ground.
Did I
here.
send you that read I said?
But that's the scary part, because I imagine from what you're telling me, you're talking about people with very far right views on things. And yeah, you don't want them brainwashing your kids, but do you want very far left wing people influencing your kids? I don't want either one. It's like all of you are maniacs. Stay away, all of you. It's your stupid ideals.
But it's just one of those where Sarah and I were like, I don't know how often we could hang with them.
I feel that about both. I wouldn't want my kids hanging out with that guy's kids, but I don't want my kids hanging out with all these other stupid kids.
You don't think you want your kids to go to school and like play sports and interact? You're gonna homeschool them? Yeah, I don't need the school system brainwashing my children. I'm like, fucking weirdo to say that.
I mean, I understand that, but I would want to rob my kid of that experience.
It goes for both sides.
It goes for both sides. It does.
Like, the next time I see Stu Hotwagner, whom I love and is adorable, I don't want him to like
grab his butt.
I want to grab his butt. I don't want to talk about Roe v. Wade the entire time. I want to hear about his life. I want to hear about how his woman's doing. I want to hear about all the traveling he's been doing. I want to hear about how handsome he is. I want to hear about whatever he's doing for work. I don't want to sit and talk about politics the whole time.
Yeah, but if that person cares a lot about that, but you not wanting to talk about it, you're ignoring something that means something to them.
For both sides. Like,
true.
I don't want to hear the conspiracies.
Those are polarizing conversations.
And I don't want to hear you know,
Well, someone can say if that's not important to you, then
I don't want to hear I don't
want to talk to you. Then
the extremes.
Fine. Yeah, no, I don't want to talk about pizza.
I'm saying
you guys
this.
never let me talk. There's a lot of things that are on my mind.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I'm just saying, there's like a lot of things that interest me, like the new season of Umbrella Academy. I think you guys would really love that show. But you don't care, and that's okay. Because it's something that I like. There's things that you like, and we find common ground. But we don't always have to like the same thing. That's what makes us all different. Pizza. I'd love to talk about pizza. Can we talk about pizza?
I feel like
Pizza.
I feel like my homemade pizza,
by the way,
is better than any pizza that I've had around here.
Can I tell you a text
you know
message?
What you need? You need to get an uni.
No, this
you need to
is
get
a
some
nice
sort of outdoor pizza oven.
This is a nice conversation.
I have a.
It's gonna change your life.
I have a nice conversation.
I make homemade pizza.
It's gonna change your life.
And my homemade pizza
Uni.
with
You ever
this.
grill a pizza?
No, I don't want to hear about your homemade pizza because there's a guy in town who's slaying it, and I got to give him props.
Franz?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's a nice conversation. I don't want to hit you up and be like, "Yeah, my kids."
I want to
man."
hear about Rich's pizza.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't buy it. I don't buy into it.
All right, that's fine. Tell me about Franz's pizza.
No, I don't hear about Rich's
Fine, let's
pizza.
hear about
No,
your pizza.
I'm just saying. I feel like my pizza is better than any pizza I've had in LA. I'd rather make my own homemade pizza than try some local spot here. I think they'll stink. My pizza that I make here is better than.
I think that's a beautiful hobby to.
I think it's.
continue.
I'm not Franz level.
but I think you could be and should be, and I think we all should strive to be.
It's a California thing. There ain't good pizza places around here.
No,
That tomato pie place is decent,
it's all right. Yeah, it's decent.
but
Tomato pie, Brooklyn Wagon. There's a few out here that are good, but
I would rather make my own pizza.
there's good pizza dough at the supermarket. There's a brand that I feel like is really quality pizza dough.
Yeah, Ralph's.
I have a the Rayo's pizza sauce is the best canned pizza sauce I've had. It's fantastic.
You know what?
Rayo's pizza sauce?
Sean said do it behind the velvet rope homemade pizza. I'm gonna do it from scratch.
See, that's so unnecessary.
No, it's not.
Like what?
Yeasty
Why? What are you
Boys,
trying
baby.
to prove?
Yeasty boys.
Yeah, but
Yeasty
to me,
boys.
that seems just like a waste of time. Okay. You think people would be like, this pizza tastes so much different?
Well, when I see Franz post his pictures of his homemade pizza, that shit looks like it hits different, definitely. Here's what a conversation should be. I don't want to hear about your thoughts on even Roe v. Wade. I really don't. I don't want to hear your thoughts on anything because you're not going to change mine, right? I like surface, fun, fluff conversation. I do. You want to hear a fun conversation?
I do.
In a nutshell.
But when you say you don't care about something like Roe v. Wade,
To
is it-
talk
no,
to
but I'm
someone
saying-
who has a different view on me about it.
No,
I
but I'm
don't.
saying like by
But I'm trying to
ignoring,
have a
I'm
good
just
time.
asking by ignoring these things, are you just it's almost like by ignoring it, like you're like you should participate in the conversation, or do you still believe in like, well, mind my business?
No, I just let them say what they want to say. Because I'm like, I'm not taking the bait in real life. Like, you got something to say? Sure. Hey, let's talk about pizza, man. Because I'm trying to have a good time. Not here trying to like disagree. People think I want to be a contrarian and fight with people. That's not who I am. I'm looking for a laid back, let's have a nice time kind of thing. I'm not here to talk about gun control with you at a picnic. Not what I'm trying to do. Ever in my whole life. I hit up Franz the other day because I know he's probably watching the Yankee game as I'm watching the Yankee game.
Yeah.
Right? Franz, he made new T-shirts for us available at shop.covinoandrich.com.
Was it
a new summer line of T-shirts?
Was it about his working out photos or his hair?
No, his pizza.
Oh.
All things that I like to talk about. You see that? Working out, hair, pizza, Yankees.
You guys should be best friends.
And he's a good family guy, right?
And
Handsome, nice
by the way,
hairline.
I couldn't disagree with Kyle more. He goes, how hard could it be to mix dough, cheese, and sauce? Like New Yorkers are pizza office. We are, but it's because it really is that much better. It's
funny.
There is no.
It's a funny comment.
It's a funny thought, but it is true though. Like there really is no, there's no good pizza in a lot of parts of the country.
Put the love into it.
I mean, it's
Find me
fair.
a picture of Franz's pizza dough spot to show everybody what I'm talking about.
Let me see.
Because I'm impressed by this. Because I'm like, we all need new hobbies and things to do with our family and kids and friendship building and family building.
Pretty impressive.
Fun time. Family fun time.
It's not like monumental.
No. But
It's impressive.
He's on a mission to create his perfect pizza, right? So anyway, I go to Franz yesterday. Joey Gallo is 0 for his last 23. He's batting 168.
Oh, here we go.
How insane is that?
That's bad.
Right? Hold on. Don't show it yet, Spot. I hit up Franz. Joey Gallo's 0 for his last 23. He's batting 168. He goes, oh, my God, that's insane. I'm watching. I go, make that 0 for 24. And then he says to me, I'm watching the Yankees making a pizza and having a glass of wine. What a life. And I said, can't beat that, bro.
Got a little outdoor area.
Can't beat that.
Jersey.
And then the Yankees won. Imagine that scene. That's a beautiful, like, I pictured him making his pizza dough, watching the TV, having a glass of wine on a Tuesday night. That's beautiful. I don't want to hear about his thoughts on gun control. Fuck out of here. Just had a long-ass day on a Tuesday. I don't care about this argument. I want to see that.
Look at that pizza.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
Do your pizza look like that, Rich? You got fresh basil? You got fresh basil
and he's trying to perfect it.
Bring on the basil.
I appreciate that. I do, because I'm like, I could get behind that. I want to taste that pizza.
You need a basil pot in the back.
People need to simplify things, man.
Basil pot.
That's
do
not
it.
a bad idea.
Basil grows like weeds. Basil. Do it.
And I understand. Basil? People need to make a difference, and people are passionate. But if the conversation always comes back to some serious shit like that, Rich, it's like, yo, man, chill. Trying to have a nice time. That's how I feel about it. So I would distance myself.
So how does Jordan deal with her friend that constantly sends articles?
Bring
and
up
stuff?
pizza.
So the answer to this whole thing is bring up pizza.
That's the title of today's show. Bring up pizza.
It's like find your pizza. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, that's why I said, like, any good pizza spots around here? Like, I mean that. But it's also like, I don't want to talk about what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to control the conversation, but you're getting all weird with me. Right? That was the question. It's like, what do you do with weird friends? Like, you got to neutralize it. With
Hey, what's your favorite barbecue?
Put the fire out.
What's your favorite pizza spot? What's your
Put
favorite?
the fire out. Yo, man, what's your favorite cut of meat? For real, I'm trying to figure that out.
It's a good one.
What's your, like,
I would go ribeye. Now you've deflected the conversation.
Man, I had, you know what I had the other day? I had
Everybody eats. Everybody hurts.
Yeah, like neutralize it. Put the fire out.
Everybody eats. Everybody sleeps.
You know what, bro? If it goes too far, you also have to take accountability that you didn't put the fire out. If anything, maybe you fed the fire. Because if you find that other thing to put it out, then you did your job. Like, good. I'm glad I ended that miserable conversation.
Can you get an uni pizza oven so we can have pizza?
Show me what it looks like.
Yeah, it's one of those like little.
By the way, I'm all about
fire grill pizza.
Trying to figure out a nice sweet pizza recipe. Like he's on a mission. That pizza looks delicious. See what I mean? Yeah. I like those conversations, man.
It's outdoor. It's a little tiny.
I'm telling you, the pizza that
little
I
tiny
make is not complex like Franz,
a little tiny pizza oven that you can get outside.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I like that.
Stainless steel.
I like that. I feel like I could bond over that with my daughter.
You should get one too.
Yeah.
You got space for it.
Yeah. I like that.
Like, look, we'll.
Isn't that the beauty? Did you see the last part of the conversation I had yesterday? I'm watching the Yankees. I'm making pizza dough with my family, and I'm having a glass of wine. What a life. That's what you need to appreciate. The simple fucking things. And instead, we walk around angry about shit all the time. And I understand there's a reason things don't look great, but it's like people dwell on it too much. And it makes everybody angry at each other, and we fight about it. And it's like, I don't mind having those conversations when we agree, and I don't mind a bad debate. You got to know when to put it out.
No, I agree. I just wonder sometimes is talking about pizza, which is way more enjoyable.
Universal.
Just sort of
Everybody
the problem.
Everybody likes
No,
pizza.
the problem.
No.
You just said you got weird friends. How do I handle it? You got to put it out.
Okay.
Put the fire out.
It's a good point.
You know, or else you're going to be fucking hearing this guy. He's also assuming that you're okay with hearing this all the time. You know, it's like, that's why I'm saying this. It's cool to have these conversations once in a while. It is, of course. That's how you address problems.
$400.
I'm not saying avoid the issues, but all the time, exhausting.
$400. Rich.
$400 for
that
pizza
thing?
oven.
For an uni.
Yo, I'm not bad. I'm not mad at that spot.
Oh, where would I put it?
Outside.
Like on top of what though?
You can get up a little setup for it.
It's pretty cool.
It is not bad. Hey, Spot, before we
I love one.
because
You ever grilling pizza is great. You take the dough, you just throw it down, flip it over, put the toppings on, close the top, and then
I make it.
grilled pizza.
Mine's the most simple, easy thing, and it
down.
tastes fantastic. I have no complaints. Sarah and I, every time we make it, we're like, this is just so freaking good.
You think it's better than the actual pizza oven? There's no way.
It can't be, I guess. But if I'm telling you, it tastes
I'm
great.
sure it's fantastic.
I mean, we love it, and we're like, this is better than any pizza in LA. So like, why do we even get pizza in LA? Like,
And it's fun, right?
Yeah,
You know what
I
you're
mean,
missing? A little glass of wine next time.
I've been making pizza at home for years. I have a little pizza stone in the oven. Do you have a pizza stone? Pizza stones are good too.
But I think I can get into this spot. The Italian side of me wants to jump on the Franz mission of perfecting it.
But Franz is eating like pizza every day.
And you know
That's
what? And then the
problem.
family comes over and
It's
they're like,
like-
oh, Dad's making his famous pizza.
You just got to control yourself because you know what it becomes? It becomes me at the beginning of the pandemic making sourdough bread every week and gaining 60
But once
pounds.
a week, though, Spot? Once a week? Ain't no crime.
No, I made two
No,
giant
right?
loaves of bread every like 2 days.
Anyway, my point in bringing
And
that
gained
up
60
is
pounds.
it wasn't to tell you the boring story about Franz and I's conversation. It's
pizza.
to put the fire out. There's other things to talk
It's a
about.
good idea. So anytime your friend brings up weird stuff,
Find your pizza.
Find your pizza.
You know, man, like flank, like
hey, you like fishing or
Ribeye.
hunting? You like what's your favorite cut of meat? Ribeye or fillet?
well, yeah, you know this guy has a wheelhouse, right? So like, you know, man, I've been thinking about hunting. What is it about? What do you love about it? Oh, and they're like, oh, what do I love about it? Oh, let me tell you what I love about it.
It'll get them off the other.
Yeah, because it's like I don't agree with you and I don't like this conversation.
Yeah, because Sarah and I were saying how there's certain things that were like makes us like not like people we like.
Right.
We're
You
like-
just don't like his views on this.
I was like, you
know he has a good heart.
Yeah, I was like, you're a maniac with what you're saying.
Right.
But I'm like, I know you're a good loving guy, and we're like, can't be hanging
You're
out with you
and you're
forever if this is your fucking mission and all you want to be about.
But you're letting that guy freight train too. So find that other thing.
Bring up a low hanging fruit conversation
Yes.
like blue cheese or ranch.
Yes, and what's wrong with that? You're having a drink. It's a nice day.
Yeah.
You want to be fighting about that shit? No. It's
No.
we're surrounded by that all the time. You need breaks from that.
True.
So thank you
Oh,
guys.
I bought a cut of meat and Spot. I think I was gonna make it today, but I may push it to tomorrow because I'm feeling like ass.
Who's
I got
ass? J-Lo's ass?
I got a big nice piece of a big chunk of short rib.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's got to be some type of combination of searing it on the grill and then slow cooking in the crock pot or with some type of sauce. Like I just feel like short rib is something I've never done, but short rib was on sale and it was a beautiful piece for like $6-7. And I'm like, yo, that looks good. So Spot, you would crock pot it?
I would probably sear it off. Usually when you crock pot meat, you sear it off. So you can either grill it or sear it off in a pan. And then I would put it in the crock pot.
Are you Lord Sear, bro?
I am.
Lord Sear.
And then I would put it in the crock pot and then reduce the sauce to baste it or something. Look up a recipe.
Okay.
Very
All right,
simple.
guys.
Very simple.
Hey, I
Until-
promise you this. When you hang out with a guy like me, you could say doorknob, dumbass, caveman, whatever the fuck you want. I promise you I'm not talking about this shit. I promise you I'm talking to you about the Yankees, having a nice glass of wine, and enjoying a nice slice of pizza. I'm not talking about this other divisive horse shit. That's important, but I'm not trying to push my views onto you.
But you know where change isn't being affected? In Steve Covino's living room. Over the Yankee game.
Or this studio sometimes.
Or
which
this
is
studio.
Why,
You know
which
where
is why
change
we
isn't
got to
being
check
affected?
ourselves.
I mean, we do have voices, so we need to use them properly.
Yeah. But not all the time.
When I'm hanging at Rich's in his backyard with his kids in the pool, and he's cooking up some short ribs.
No, you did. Look at those kids.
I say, look at those kids. Because you know why? Me saying, abortion, am I right? Is not going to change the minds of the state.
Rich, look at Rich, look at this family you built, man. Look at a beautiful pool you got. Look at this. Look at this.
Abortion.
Yeah, that's why you want to kill an innocent life. Look at these kids. Like, no, man, I'm just saying, look at them in their floaties.
What kind of meat do you like?
Don't you want to be able to protect them? Your gun rights.
Let me tell you about this pizza place down the street.
Oh, pizza.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
All right. Enjoy some. Now I want some pizza.
All right.
Oh, pizza.
I really, and I think I'm
Find
going to
your
have
pizza.
some. You know, maybe I'll make some tonight.
Find your pizza.
Jordan, let's make some pizza if you're listening.
Find your
All
pizza.
right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Find your pizza.
Till then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.